we're gonna play something fun, something that's has had a bit of a controversy recently. Not like a bad controversy, but like more of like there's definitely a lot of speculation around will it survive kind of deal. We'll be back soon with some Across the Obelisk in just a moment because I have to actually download the DLC. My bad, I didn't know that I didn't download it. You will see my face disappear. BRB. Welcome to Across the Obelisk. This game is extremely good. In general, I enjoy card games. You know this because I've showed you my 200-something hours in Slay the Spire. I also have, about 50 to 60 hours within Tales of Tactics, which it has a similar concept but not with cards. Instead, you deal with units. In this case, you're playing entirely with cards. You have an entire party of people who, each of which has their own deck depending on their class, and depending on who they are, some cards are better for them than others. There's actually a fair amount of builds that you could do for this game. This game has gone through a lot of issues since it first released, namely around DLC pricing, which is a current hot topic around it. They got acquired by Paradox Interactive, which the makers of such DLC-heavy games like Crusader Kings 3, where I'm pretty sure if you add up all the DLCs, it's almost like 10 times as much or 20 times as much as the base game itself. This game seems to be going the exact same way. However, in light of backlash and in response to the DLC being $26.99, which is, I think, the game itself was like $20, 25 bucks. They said that only one person needs all the DLC. Now, I'm usually the one who hosts the games for my friends. So, whenever I host the games, before we had to have all the DLC, which kind of sucked, and so none of us bought it. It just wasn't worth it for us. Now, however, they just recently released patch 1.2, well, 1.2.2, which is also a hotfix patch. And they included a new DLC called the Sands of Earlminen, Sands of Earlminen. It's really hard to say. This DLC seems much more fully featured compared to the last DLC. And boy, oh boy, is there a lot to talk about this game. But no more talking. Let's get right into it. Just gotta make sure everything's good, volume's good, all the sounds are good. There we go. Maybe a bit lower, actually. There we go. She is a bit lower. Perfect. Now, if you've never played games like this, these like card games, let's just say that they're very focused on strategy.
Started on the princess's
Here, listen, look at this.
Birthday.
By the way, this is my first time ever watching this cutscene. I usually skip this always.
And swept through the kingdom of Synanthia.
So this is the first time that we'll ever see what's happening.
Royal guards explored every corner of the castle, but found no sign of her or Lord Hanshek, the court magician.
The court magician.
The king sent soldiers
oh my
all
god.
over
Okay,
the kingdom,
when I beat the game, you guys will understand why I'm so like
but none of them returned.
surprised by Lord Hanshek.
The
my
trail
god.
of the princess was lost deep in the old forest.
So this is why we started here. Okay, now
near the
everything
ancient
makes
obelisk
sense.
that had been dormant for centuries. Desperate, the king proclaimed a royal decree, announcing a reward for whoever brought the princess home safely. The news spread quickly throughout
Everything
the
makes
kingdom.
sense. You know what's funny?
Many groups of adventurers.
My friends and I have
prepared
played
to
this game
investigate
for,
the
I want to
obelisk.
say weeks. Like on end, like
This
constant.
is the
We would
story
literally,
of one
we
of
would
those
stay up till
groups.
4 a.m. We'd wake up at like 11 a.m. the next day, just so we could run another game session with another set of players because not everyone had the same starting times. We've never seen the cutscene and we never understood why the story was the way it was. Now we know. One way I don't save is because I have multiple Steam accounts for safety reasons, right? So you don't see everything here. You're playing 5M. Oh yeah, the GTA 5 RP server. That server seems very fun, but I don't want to get too much into the personalities of certain people there. It seems way too toxic at like certain levels. Did I take another shit? No, I went to grab some food and some snacks and some coffee and download the game. Hey, welcome back, Sway Stuff. You missed out on Sticky Business. You would have enjoyed buying some stickers. Now, since we just started the game, again, on my second account, we don't have every single character, but there's actually a bunch of characters in this game. You see all the cards that each character has, and you see that each character, you can also build certain types of builds depending on your level. You gain levels throughout the entire session, right? It's a roguelike card deck builder game. And the best part is that the builds are very varied. You don't have to stick to one single path. You can decide to go, say, Divine Retribution, make him kind of like a fighter tank, and then all of a sudden decide to go for a healing surge in order to gain bonus bless and like healing. versus more damage, right? Same with Magnus, same with, all the other characters that you have. We got the DLC today, The Sands of Omenon, which adds a lot more different characters to the game as well. It seems like a couple of different mechanics and a whole new act as well. Again, there's a bit of controversy around the DLC because of how expensive it is, but I think overall, it's a pretty good value for what you get. Especially now that, as players, only the owner of the game, only the host of the lobby needs to own all the DLC for your friends to play. This is a very good co-op experience if you like talking to your friends and building strategies around it. Though I will get more into what the co-op feels like. So as you see, there's a cost to things. You have an energy bar. You can only play cards depending on what monsters it can target. So for instance, this can only attack the guy at the front, but I can also rend the guy at the front. I can intercept any hero, and I can only defend myself. Each of these costs a different type of energy. 0 energy for intercept, 1 for defend and fast strike, and 2 for rend. This game has a lot of different strategies to it as well. You may, for instance, decide to, shield more on yourself on the front line, because the character at the front is going to take the most damage most of the time, compared to the ones in the back. By default, you can't see anything, okay? You don't know what the enemy is going to do. You have to apply a status effect in order to see what they do. It's a bit unlike Slay the Spire. It's like playing Slay the Spire with that one boss relic modifier, where it hides the moves, but you gain 1+ energy. It's less punishing because you have a lot of churns to go through, and combat typically revolves around a much slower pace. But still, it's something that you need to be careful of. So for instance, I can foresight him and see his next move, which I think is going to be a chop to the front hero. And I can prepare for that if I had any shields. Of course, it's too late, so he's just going to take a lot of damage for no reason. At least we're full health. Now this game, the controversy before was that when the second DLC released, it was full price. So imagine a $25.99 DLC that that all of your friends had to buy, okay? One person, you couldn't just have one person buy. Everybody had to buy the DLC, or none of you could play. The reason why that was so controversial is that it's a $25.99 DLC when the base game itself is by itself $20 to $25. And like on sale, it can go down even lower, right? For a fraction of the content of the base game, people were paying much higher prices on the DLC just to have a chance at playing one more act and one more character, and a couple more like cards, and maybe 2 or 3 more stats effects, right? It wasn't exactly very good for the player experience, and looking at the backlash, they seem to have fixed that issue entirely, which is why I got the DLC, because I want to try it with my friends too. Now, you're gonna have to make the judgment on if you think that's worth it, but I think the base game by itself is a very good game. It's kind of a masterpiece. It looks fun, because it is fun. It's a very fun game. There's a lot of strategical and tactical depth to the game. There's a lot of different ways that you can go, and because it's a roguelike, the map and the events are always varied. There's a lot of events. No 2 playthroughs will ever be the same. Especially when you consider the fact that there's also equipment that you can find that every character can equip. There's also long-term progression that feels very, very good. Your long-term progression changes how you play, gets better and better and better. And even when you finish the game, I'll show you after, there's a way to increase the difficulty modifier of the game, similar to Slay the Spire. All in all, it's a great base package, and I like the game as it is. I'm just curious to see how good the DLC is, and is it really worth it for such a high price? Again, I've already played this game, so I've already gone through all this, but we might as well go through it again because I'm forced to, because I'm on a new account. So it's Nenthier's Tavern. You arrive at a nearby tavern, and there you meet Andrin, Reginald's brother. You'll talk to him for a while, he decides to join your party. In a corner of the tavern, you see a woman who seems to be a mage. It'd be nice to have someone like her in the party. Do you want to try to recruit her? Because I'm a single player, and because there's only one choice, I can just select this, and you can see how my chance of success is going to be, right? In multiplayer, and in other non-scripted, non-tutorial events, you're gonna have multiple choices, all of which that have different success probabilities. And every single person that you play with in the co-op can vote for something else. So if I vote this and someone votes a second option, it goes down to a single dice roll. And then whoever wins, we have to live with the consequences or the successes of that action. It's a very fun way of implementing like a co-op multiplayer choice system in a game that's kind of difficult to pull that off. A co-op card game is very difficult to make that work. This is D&D, but like in computer form, like Baldur's Gate 3. Very similar. Very, very similar. If you didn't have to care about very discrete movement units, yes. If you only had to care about four positions each, then like yes. It's actually very, very similar. So if we do the dice roll, this one's guaranteed to succeed because it's a tutorial one. Then we now get all 4 other characters. Andrin, the rogue, or the hunter, and Evelyn, the mage. And there's 4 different characters for each archetype. So 4 warriors, 4 hunters, 4 mages, and 4 healers. In the base game, that's 16 characters. After speaking with her, she introduces herself as Evelyn and tells you that she is also looking for the Princess of Senentia. So she decides to join you. You don't have to have this specific layout of characters. You can have either hunters or mages. You can have all 4 hunters even. If you want all 4 warriors, all 4 healers, you can do all kinds of crazy, wacky things. I personally like playing a certain healer as a tank, and I'll show you who soon. As you play, though, you need to unlock things, and as you play, you'll encounter towns as well. In the town is where you can spend all of your traits, which you get at the end of your playthrough, in order to unlock, more and more things that you can do inside the game. These are very important to being able to progress and eventually beat the game. You can also spend gold that you earn and shards that you earn only for this run in order to buy new cards, upgrade them, remove them, and even buy new equipment as well. This game has a very vast equipment system. There are unique items, there are rare items, there are, uncommon items. All kinds of items that you can find, all of which change your stats in very different ways that may even change your playstyle too. This is a very complex and deep, very varied game at the baseline. And this is all that you get. You get all of this as parts of the base game. The question that people had was, is the DLC worth it? And I was very curious too. And again, I think in general, it seems like it's worth it. But at the same time, it seems crazy to me that for a fraction of the price of the full game, you're paying for, maybe like a handful of newer things. So I'm very curious to see how this goes. I want the DLC to be worth it because I really like this game and I really like the mechanics in it. It's a very unique game compared to every other game out there on the market. I just hope that their business practices kind of... hold up. I sound like a promoter for the game. Yeah, it does sound like a promotion, but it's because I really like this game. For context, on my main account, my friends and I have spent about 100 hours on it. And not just me, okay? My friends and I. Like, multiple of us have been playing this game over and over. So for instance, you can see here, I can upgrade certain cards. I can make certain cards free, for instance. I can make a fast strike free. Or I can choose to go a different way. So for instance, the barricade cards are very, very nice. You give all of your heroes, everybody on your team, a shield, 9 shield. You can upgrade it to 12 shield, or you can upgrade to also give reinforce, which gives you more resistances. I like resistances, and a bit more defense early on really helps you survive, at least in the early parts of the game. There's also a couple of other really good ones, like barrier, for instance, which I hate. You can get this vanish, which causes it to be removed from your hand when you use it. There's a card here which you can spend money to divine cards, which is essentially a way to get new cards. You can go to the church and remove cards that you don't need, but you always must have a minimum of number of cards of 15. You must have at least 15 cards in your deck, otherwise you can't go. You can spend shards in order to create new cards from different rarities, although for right now we only have common cards. You unlock more as the game goes on through your town upgrades. And of course, gold for equipment. Equipment is very useful. Being able to get a bunch of equipment makes you a lot stronger later on, and it's the main way that you scale, at least towards the end game. It gets a lot harder to scale as you go on. I'm going to tell you right now. Now, I sort of know how this game works already, so I'm going to try to go for a Sacred Tablet here. I like Holy damage because of how it scales and what Holy does. Now, the DLC, I remember, added a couple of things. It added, let me just grab the list here. Cross the Obelisk. Bam. Bam. Sorry, let me load up the page for it. The DLC has all of these things and more. An epic new zone that's available as part of Act 2 or 3 of the adventure, so you can choose to go there. 2 new heroes, a paladin, who acts as a hybrid between a healer and a warrior, and a fallen, who embodies the warrior-mage archetypes. They're capable of utilizing cards from both their hybrid classes. There's 2 new aura and curse mechanics called Scourge and Zeal, 3 new pets, which you'll see what they're interested in. Multi-layered dungeon in the pyramids of Omenin, 20 new enemies, 3 new bosses, 30 new items, and scarab mechanics, where if you beat the scarab, you can get bonuses. Apparently, there's a lot in this DLC, but again, DLC is $25.99. The base game is $24.99 with no sales. Think about that for a second, okay? There are some business practices that I really, really like, and some business practices that feel almost archaic by comparison. Also, you can look at the map here now. You have multiple paths that you can take, and the paths don't always intertwine. This middle path does. You can kind of go someplace, but you can't go everywhere. For instance, I can't go to the very top. You also see character events. These are the main ways to unlock different characters. You can get these 4, which I already know. Again, I've beaten the game. There's no surprise to me. And your goal is to get from left to right, all the way to the very end of the game to fight the boss. There's a whole thing up here too, which we can go to. There was another DLC called the Wolf Wars, which was also critically panned as well. That takes place up here. We're gonna go up because I want to check out both DLCs all at once and just see how it goes. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, it's sad that this game sort of got panned, but it's also understandable, right? People don't want to necessarily be scammed out of things. I mean, it not necessarily scammed, but it feels bad when you say, hey, I bought this game for $24.99. Why do I now have to pay $1 more? But like in total, for $25.99, you have to pay a whole $25.99 for a whole new DLC for content that isn't even a fraction. That's only a fraction of the main game as is, right? However, you also sort of understand the plight of developers of like, hey, they have to make a living somehow, right? And they have to be able to continue, I guess, like, holding back their like costs, right? It's not easy to make a game for cheap, though. You have to question the mindset of, okay, well, how much money can we extract from, you know, a game, right? Also, some cards are very interesting. So if I go back to what I just used, Cold Spark, this card deals X amount of cold and lightning damage and applies Chill and Spark, which you can see reduces resistances, reduces an extra stat, and also does something special. Every single type of element does something special for it. Every single turn, or like at the start of someone's turns, or it's something. This game is very complex. Based on the number of cards in your hand, there's a lot of different card mechanics here that are very, very cool. Now, there's 2 monsters that I could kill. I could kill this like middle, was it? Corn one first, but I need to also kill this one at the first, before he acts, right? This one won't act until the very end. And I'm certain Reginald has an attack card that could kill him. And he goes at least before the one at the end. You can see that the one at the front is going to go before Reginald gets to go, though. So if I kill this guy now, I reduce total damage that I take. In a similar way to D&D games, action economy is a very important thing to keep in mind. Being able to do the right moves and conserve as much power as possible is usually your best bet to win any kind of game in this genre, pretty much. You may also notice that, see that? Shield and defense are also different. Defense applies at this turn, shield applies on next turn. This game's mechanics get more and more complicated. I'm gonna go briefly over them as I encounter them, just because they're so complicated that it's hard to get into them without necessarily diving into the rest of like, it's hard to get into them without getting very sort of lost in the weeds, so to speak. Now, this corn can bleed. I can use adrenaline here. So I suffer 1, I forget the name of it, fatigue, which means I get 1 less energy. My energy gain right now is +3, but it's going to go down to +2. But in return, I get 2 energy now, which in general is more worth it. Because I can move immediately and do a bit more damage right now before it can. But you also notice at the top here, depending on how fast you beat the combat, you get better and better bonuses over time. So if you beat the combat on round 1, you get the most rewards. You get the most experience, you get the most gold, and you get the most potential card rolls. And you'll see what I mean by card rolls in just a moment. At the end of every combat, a nice little tune plays, and you get to choose a bunch of new reward cards. These are rolled randomly depending on your card tier, depending on your performance in battle, as well as how far you've gotten into the game and how difficult the combat was. Now, right now, there's basic combats, but later on, as boss fights come online and as different sort of events come online as well, the combat gets harder, and you get more and more rewards, and your tier of rewards goes up and up, depending on the difficulty of that thing. There's a bunch of different skills here, and a lot of these were actually changed, I think. Quite a few of them, actually. For instance, I don't think Bladestorm ever repeated, ever. I'm pretty sure this used to be like an AoE move. And repeating, like dealing 7 damage times 3 seems kind of insane to me. You can also choose to, again, not take any of these and take simply shards. Because again, the more cards you have in your deck, the more you have to cycle your deck through in order to eventually get the card that you want. This game is a very complicated card game, okay? But that is one of its strengths. It's a very good card game, and it has a lot of potential to be a very, long-term. It has a lot of potential to have a lot of staying power. It's why I think so many people were so annoyed by how they handled DLC, because I think a lot of people were really hoping for this game to sort of go down on a more consumer-friendly path, if that makes sense. And of course, who am I to say? I don't know about the full difficulties of making a bunch of games, right? Does it make sense to like price a DLC at $25.99 compared to the base game, which is at $24.99 though? It's hard to say. I would probably argue no, unless the content is so much greater that it's an entirely new game in and of itself. As we see though, there's been a lot of like discussion about it. And we haven't even reached it yet, but the base game alone has a lot of good content, yes? So let's see if it can even hold up, okay? We can go down to Tom's farm, okay? If I remember correctly, this deals with a bunch of sheep. We can also go up and go to the fire, the scorched field, which I believe... Yes, the crops are on fire. Near the farm, you come across a burned field and a burning house. In front of the house, there's a fire imp causing fires next to some burning coinies. Coinies? The coins that we've been killing, they're called coinies. Even if burned, the house may contain something valuable, but you have to deal with the fire imp and the coinies first. You can deal with the imp and investigate the house, or ignore him. Now, I want to investigate the house. Not because I already know what's inside, but also, I like to try to fight things, yes? And I like to try to roll here. I like to put people into dangerous positions that are going to fail, because then I can show you what happens if they fail. Evelyn, our mage with all three, mastery of all three spells, can say, I will cast a cold spell to scare the imp, okay? She has a 25% chance to succeed. She has to pull a cold spell card, and only a quarter of her deck are cold spells. If she fails, you see what happens? She gets an injury. She gets low self-esteem. She's so unconfident in her skills now that she never wants to try ever again. Evelyn miscasts the correct spell and misses a target. The imp notices your presence and attacks you. Now she is her self-esteem has been ruined. A shameful reminder that something didn't go as planned. As an injury, you can't do anything about an injury. It stays in your deck, and you will pull it until you remove it at a church. You have to heal it at a church, so to speak. However, because it's a part of your deck, it's now one more card that you have to cycle through. So when you pull this, you pull one less total choice that you have. Every turn, you pull 5 cards. You can modify this here and there, but for the most part, it's a static 5. Her options are now limited. One of her draws will only have 4 options compared to 5. And that could mean all the difference between life and death. Thankfully, everyone else is broken. Like, say, Andrin here. Andrin is kind of a monster if you think about what he does. He has a lot of different attacks. He does a lot of damage. He does a lot of bleed damage. And the best part is, he is both melee and range, so he can hit all targets on the field. Mostly front, though. Mostly front, unfortunately. Now, you may notice here that I'm not going to finish him off. If you look carefully on his health bar, he has a bleed thing, okay? Different status effects apply different types of damage, either at the start or the end of the turn. He's going to take 4 fire damage at the very start, and he's going to bleed for 2 health at the start. That's more than his 3 health. He takes 6 damage. He's going to die instantly, okay? This is very, very good. The moment that his turn comes around, which it will, right before Evelyn, he'll die before even doing a single thing. Wasting more damage on him wouldn't be very good. Again, action economy. You don't really want to. You might as well defend here and stay alive for as long as you can. Oh god, if I even can. Oh god, I'm also burning. Now these status effects start to get pretty crazy after a while. Status effects in general can stack forever. There's a certain modifier in the end game when you've beaten the game like 20 times, where you can make the game harder and have them cap. But for the most part, you're going to be dealing with a lot of status effects, and so you'd better be careful about what you're doing. You may also notice that I use Frostbolt on the imp, because every single enemy in this game, again, this game is very complex, has a different type of resistance. Corin, for instance, is very weak to fire. I mean, very strong to fire. Wait, what? Why is Corin strong to fire? Oh, because he's already roasted. Sorry. Unroasted Corin is weak to fire. When you roast it, it's strong to fire. He's weak to cold. So actually, this does nothing. See how it would have done 3 damage, but he only takes 2? I'm going to die. Oh boy, that's a lot more damage. I was hoping to end it in 1 turn, but I guess not. We could do this. Oh, let's see. Now, our barriers provide a shield, right? You see that little red tick there? That's how much damage that he's going to take at the beginning of his next turn. This block only lasts for this turn, but shield comes online next turn. So the trick is you apply shield on the turn before they're going to get hit. That way, when the turn comes, they won't get burnt or something. Look. Boom. It gets blocked entirely. That 2 damage. Now he can blast this coin. Well, he can't do anything, actually. He's useless. Uh-oh. Okay, well, can anybody kill this coin? Oh, God. Oh! Yo! Woo! Can I get an ow? He's dead. Look at that. 18 bleed. 3 burn. He's taking 20 damage. 21 damage, roughly. Dies. Bleeds and dies. Her low self-esteem. You see what happened? Low self-esteem means she gets nothing. Absolutely painful. Now, the best part about this is that... the hard part about this game is that your health after combat doesn't get reset. Similar to Slay the Spire, you keep your health between every single combat. So whatever damage you take in the last fight, that's your starting point in the next fight. Getting an extra churn like this without going into the round 3, which lowers my performance, allows me to heal Andrin for the next fight. Otherwise, he would have started the next fight with only 90 health, or 80 health, or however much it was. I can't read. Blood Rain? What the hell is this? I've never seen this before. Yo! Blood for the Blood Gods! I have a friend who's very into caltrops. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is the worst card ever. Thorns is useless. Thorns only matters when they hit you. And I'm gonna tell you right now, throwing a bunch of needles on the floor is not gonna do anything for you. Instead, why not go Detection? What can Evelyn go? She can go Malicious Eye, but that's shadow damage. She's mostly an elemental mage, and you can see her level and her traits, right? She has enchanted weapons. She gets the game is still so loud. She has enchanted weapons, elemental proliferation. Like, she's really focused on dealing elemental damage, right? So going for something that's shadow damage doesn't really synergize with what you could build it into. However, Unstable Power gives you Powerful, which gives you a percentile increase to your damage that do damage and healing, up to a max, and you suffer a bit of shock. I mean, it's fine. It's like sticking the fork into like a socket or something. It's whatever. It hurts at the moment, but it'll stop hurting soon. Just wait a while. Shining Force. Look at the boundary. Look at the border of this card, okay? Flash and Flash Heal. Their border is wood, okay? Everyone knows that wood is the most common resource. It's why you start out in Minecraft punching a bunch of trees. It's useless. Wood is useless. Long live silver. And because the card was yellow, if you look here carefully at it, it was already upgraded. So it was upgraded from a base Shining Force, and it was upgraded into the yellow version, which deals 1 more damage and applies 1 more slow and specifically 1 vulnerable, increasing damage by 5%. The other upgrade is a percentile thing, which equals to your discarded number of cards times 11. So if you remove, say, 10 cards from your hand, then you would do, what's 11 times 10? Holy shit, that would do 110 damage? What the fuck? Wait, this is nuts. Oh, but you'd have to discard that many cards. Wait, I don't get it. Discard X, what? Huh? Wait, discard X cards, deal X damage. X equals discarded cards times 11. So you would discard 110 cards and you would deal 110 damage if you discarded 10 cards? I don't get it. I don't get it. Because your discard is like all across the entire round until you reshuffle. I don't get it. I'm gonna assume it's 110 if it's 10 cards. We still have Todd Howard. Listen, we don't talk about Todd Howard. Okay, just if you see a Todd Howard, we don't tell anybody where he came from. Okay. You were at the entrance of the burning house. Clearly, this was a poor man's house. You see that the contents inside are already destroyed or burned. Before you leave, a chest catches your eye, although the chest is still on fire. The fire is spreading rapidly, and there'll be nothing left in a few moments. But you venture into the flames for a poor man's chest. 2 options. We can leave. I don't want to get burned. Let's get out of here. Or we can go inside. We can rush inside, try to get the chest out, for a 69% chance. This one's hard. The entire group has to roll a total of 4 or higher. So if I roll 0004, it's fine. If I roll 1111, it's fine. If I roll 1110, we're dead. 69, baby. I think we're done. Oh, we got it. Easy. Let's go. You're sorry? No worries. No. I didn't mean it as like a don't talk about it. It's just like a joke thing. Now, this is an interesting thing here. Whenever you find equipment out in the field, you get to choose who takes it, and you go left to right in order of importance. This means that whoever you play with can choose to be a loot goblin and just hold it before you ever get a chance to even see it. It makes for much more funny, dynamic stories, I think, when your friends can sort of jump in and be like, well, actually, that's my ring, buddy, right? You can choose who gets to go next, but usually this is on the host. It's way more funny to just let go left to right. In single player, it's different because then it's easier to like manage things stuff. But for instance, in this case, Magnus should be getting the silver ring, but as a Magnus player, there's nothing stopping him from also going, I want the soap. And really, is it wrong to pick up soap? Not really. The bow is really good for Andrin because he does a lot of piercing damage. The robe is good for Evelyn because she's gonna shock herself. And the ring, I mean, he might as well get something, right? He might as well get something. There's not much else. Now, going up, you could get a new character by going to the watermill, I think, and check out the mountain ridges. But since I played this game before, I know what's inside the suspicious hatch. It's a bit metagamey, but I like what's inside here. Let's go to the Eastern Farmland. Am I Magnus? No, I'm neither character. When you're playing in single player, you're just everyone, basically. It only matters in co-op who you play. When you're playing in multiplayer, the character you choose is the only one that you get to play with. So when your turn comes up, everyone can see your cards, but only you get to make the final decision on like things. And if there are dialogue choices that are for you, like event choices, they're unique to you and they only affect you. So for instance, because Evelyn tried to cast a cold spell to get rid of that imp, she was the only one who like suffered. As the Evelyn player, she may be brazen and try to go for it. She may also say the entire group should just fight for it, you know? There's a lot of variability when it comes to co-op, which is fun. Again, it's why a lot of people, I think, had a lot of reservations about the DLC, which I get. I too had reservations about it. I still do, because I still haven't seen any good part of it, right? To pay so much money to play with your friends was effectively slightly less than what you like currently have in terms of the base game. Because again, this is all just base game stuff. Everything that you see here right now is the base game. And plus 16 other characters, plus like 20 or I want to say like 30 or 40 more cards that we haven't even unlocked yet. That's all in the base game. So why pay so much money when you can just play the base game? It's a very good thing to ask, I think. And it's very good to sort of ask these questions because the state of gaming in general, and the state of, I guess, like not just gaming, but like buying things, it's getting harder and harder to justify certain costs of the things. A lot of things are increasing in like cost over time, right? And games not being really affordable and sort of like gouging on like price at the times feels painful to deal with. It feels like something that you don't really want to have to like think about, right? Like, why should I have to, you know, pay XYZ for some portion of a game that isn't necessarily that going to be much more than what I currently have, right? And that's a very valid question to ask. I wonder if it's because of the change in management. So if you don't know, again, Paradox Interactive is now the owner of the people who made this game. This guy is gonna get demolished. Oh, that was disgusting. That was so good. Everyone bleeds, but I mean, you know, blood for the blood god! Blood for the blood god! But I'm curious why they went with the way they went with the thing that I did. I can go another blade sword. Either I go another blade sword or I go for a coat of arms. This thing's kind of nasty. If I upgrade this, I get 2 fortified, which gives me and lets me keep my block across turns. You remember, block stays until the end of turn. Shield is given at the start of next turn. This converts this keeps your block throughout the number of turns that you have fortified. But you know, you can't stack it for too long. I think we go for that. We could go for an aim shot here, but I have already too many aim shots. And it's upgraded to cost 2 instead of 1, which really sucks. Feint, however, is very nice. You get a bit more defense, but you discard 1 card just fine. Toxic Rain is a good potential as well, but it causes all of us to be poisoned. And it causes wetness. So different stats effects in this game are very complicated. Wetness removes burn. And I think burn removes wetness. So it's like, there's a lot of complexities with like how you combine different elemental stats. And for a character that has all 3 elements, wetness by itself doesn't really do much. Ignite is really good. applying 10 burn, which is 10 damage per turn. I think it's really good. You also get the minus, 20%, or no, minus 5% total fire resistance. Well, I think we just choose shards for him, because again, too many cards, you don't have to choose a card. Too many cards means that you have to cycle your deck further. Same thing with Reginald. He doesn't really have anything good here for him either. Now we go into the suspicious hatch. I know what's on here. The hatch. You come across a house in ruins. Inside you see a large hatch. Try to open the hatch, but it's probably closed. A few seconds later, a voice speaks to you through the hatch. Only those touched by the flames. Then the voice remains silent, as if waiting for a passphrase. What do you want to do? We have a couple options. We don't know the passphrase, so we could leave. You'd be like, whatever. We can jump on the hatch and try to break it, right? The problem is that once you break it, can you survive the fall? We need a single 1 or lower, okay? This means that every single person rolls on their own, okay? If it's 1, 1, 1, 1, everyone survives. If it's 1, 1, 1, 0, everybody but Reginald survives. It's not survives, but you get a broken leg, right? Everybody's results are on their own. Good luck to everybody. And you can see that all the percentages for each character are different because of that. There's a group option as well. Try to jump on the hatch in a safer way. Try to open it in a safer way than just jumping on it. W voice hacking. Thank you. However, this is even lower chance, okay? I don't care if people break their legs. I just want in. It's guaranteed to open. And if you don't survive, that's on you. Oh god, sorry, Reginald. Oh god. On draw, his broken bone, he will now suffer 2 vulnerable, which makes him take 10% more damage. Success, a perfect landing and nothing seems broken. Then you look behind your back and you see Reginald on the floor writhing in the pain. Ouch. The impact of the fall was too strong for you, and something broke. The hatch in Kingdom of Sinentia. This is a sub-map. That was such a cheery sound for that. That really was it was a bit too cheery, but it was funny. It's funnier the happier it sounds, right? Because it's like a comedy scene, right? You jump down, all your friends are safe, and it's like, everyone good? And then you look behind you, and you're one party member. It's like, all right then, let's move on. You know what I mean? Now, you can see the kind of content that the base game has. All of a sudden, we're in an entirely different map. This is completely removed from the main map. It just gives you more content. And there's a lot of different paths that you can go. There's question marks here of things that we don't know. And the question marks go away when you've encountered it at least once. But even in here, there's variations of these rooms. This one, for instance, can be slightly different every single time. There's something that you can do here. There's something that you can do here. Even this combat might be slightly different. And so there's a lot of replayability to this game. You keep on going by and seeing what kind of events have you missed. Even if you've gone through this place twice to go on both the paths, you may still find something new on your particular playthrough. But let's check out the front door. Silly gatekeepers. You're inside the hatch. Here you can see what at first glance seems to be the normal basement, but at the end of the room you see a door with 3 pigmen keeping watch. They knew this place and don't seem very excited about having to stand guard. In fact, one of them is lying down and almost asleep. The other 2 don't seem to be very smart either, but they could raise the alarm depending on how you approach. What do you want to do? You have a couple options. Clearly this is not a normal basement. You leave now while you still can. I mean, there isn't a single chain and lock anywhere. This is not a normal basement. Where is the what's that polling thing? Where's the Iron Maiden? We can decide to go right into combat, charging at them directly so they can't call reinforcements. We can pretend. I'm one of you guys, trust me. I too am a pigman, says the dog and the 3 humans. Just let us go, please. No, we'll just try and go on ahead. The entire group has to roll it, and there's a 52% chance. Or Magnus. They don't sound very smart. Let me try to intimidate them. 39% chance. You what? Magnus, you son of a gun, I'm in. I believe in you. Oh, he actually got it! Holy shit! Magnus appeared from the shadows before the pigmen with a grim look and showing his fangs. They didn't have to say anything. When they saw him, the pigmen ran hastily past the rest of the group and climbed up the hatch without thinking twice. Sorry, it's still kind of dark. Quiet. You found a small gold sack where the pigman was sleeping. We get 160 gold and 60 experience. We're getting really close to a level. It's the 90 over 160 with 90 experience out of the 160 required. And the skulls is how many times people have died. Or injuries, basically. Now again, since I played the game, I know what's here. I want to go up towards the top corridor, okay? I want to get to that weird statue in the background. This game has a lot of enemies at the base. This is one of the more complicated card games out there. Again, the comparison to Slay the Spire, I think, is a very good comparison. I think this game has a lot of complex things that you have to deal with, and I think that this game deserves a lot of praise for how they've like done things. Even if I think their business practices are kind of like overzealous, I think their game design idea for what the game is genius. And I really wish that those two were like combined together well. Already, we have 3 different types of enemies here, okay? I didn't talk about this last time, but even upstairs we saw like a farmer and 2 different types of coins. But these 3 are very different. The middle one can heal. We actually can't see what he can do yet. We don't know all the cards that he can do because there's a new save, and so you don't see anything. As you learn more, though, you know more for later playthroughs. It actually shows up here, and then you actually know what they like do. The Evoker can summon and cause a giant firestorm. Holy moly, she's stacked. What in God's name? Jesus Christ, the art director? What is going on? This imp in the front can also burn you, okay? Fire, as you know, does damage each and every single turn and reduces your resistance to more and more fire damage. So let's detect them, do +1 bonus damage to any damage they take, and let's try and kill them as fast as I can. Since I have mostly front damage, I'm not gonna waste too much time on the back targets. We might as well just like focus on the front and try to get an early kill as fast as we can to lower the amount of damage I would take. Blood for the Blood God! No! Good, okay, good. He's going to die. Okay, I need to stop doing the blood for the blood God thing. It is painful. Because bleed, you can't block. So when Evelyn goes, she will take 1 damage regardless, even though she had 2 a block, which should have blocked everything. Okay, you have to be careful about certain stats effects and how they affect you. I could do a heat wave here, but the heat wave doesn't really affect anybody except for us. But maybe it gets rid of evasion. It does not. Right now, the Evoker, she has evasion on it. Okay, prevents 1 entire hit. This is very bad because it means that whatever I do won't affect her, at least for the first one. I need to choose which one carefully. I could burn her some more, and I could hit the front guy for some damage then. Transmission gives Evelyn's energy to someone else for the next turn, but the only person who can go after, or like, who could go before they go is these 2, really. Stop petting me, I have a reputation to uphold. What? Can you do it again? Oh my god, he's a freak. Just like that? Oh my god, he's a freak. Guys, Magnus is a freak. I didn't know you could pet him. Stop petting me, I have a reputation to uphold. Oh my god, he's a freak. You're a freak. Is it freakish for dogs to want to be pet? I don't know. I'm assuming not. We can get rid of the evasion on her, and we can blast her. She also has an elemental ward, Insulate, which increases her resistances by 30%. So elemental damage does nothing to her. But the Ward of God can do a lot. Bow down to your maker. Unfortunately, she got a bunch of shield this turn because of her effects last turn. However, we could probably kill the first guy fairly easy. We can slice him up, shoot at him, and get him even more marked up. Takes +3 bonus damage. Then we simply attack. This should do not really enough. We do this. He will die to the bleed and everything else. Then we can do barricade, make sure no one dies. We can do a single defend to keep us alive as well. Because if she does AoE damage, and if she does a lot of damage, we don't know if it's going to kill me. I should have Cold Sparked first there because Cold Spark does more the more cards I have, but I messed up. Now I already have Insulate, and I really want to insulate my healer. The less damage he takes, the better overall. It means that he can spend time healing everyone else instead of himself. I give that thing to him to bless him, deal bonus damage, and I could blast her. I might as well and gain 1 bonus blast. Because I have no healing cards anyways. I think I'm dead. No, I'm not dead. No. Oh god, there's an imp. I forgot that she summons imps. Okay, well now we know most of the cards that she can do. She can do Flame Dancer, Dispel Fire. She can apply fire to everyone. She can burn someone, and she can summon imps. I should have killed her first, but I forgot that she summoned imps. We might be doomed. Unless I can get through this front imp, it may be impossible to kill her in time before she summons more. If she happens to. Again, I don't have any sight, so I don't know what they're going to do. If I had more sight cards, like Foresight, I could Foresight her and know what to do. But he goes last, and so it's too late for me to even see what she's going to do by that point. I can, however, kind of slow them down a tiny bit, do a bit of damage at the front, and apply barricades to everybody. Keeps everyone kind of alive. He is dying more and more though. Ooh, mana battery is good because of this. One simple reason. You just blast them. Holy cow, this is disgusting. Now, I didn't use her elemental skills on her because, again, she's still insulated. There's no real point. And we don't have any damage though, so actually I should have probably done that because she's gonna fireball me. She's gonna fire embers someone randomly. Which, by the way, the game says random, but I swear to God, it goes for the third or the fourth character every single time. Whenever I play with my friends, I'm the healer. I'm the one who dies first always because I'm in the back here, and random is always me somehow. And the middle hero, so this is guaranteed to hit at least one of these two, but you can see it does splash damage as well. So 18 to the main, 10 to the sides. This is all to say that we're probably doomed. This is gonna hurt. Oh! Oh! It's fine, it's okay. It's just a flesh wound. Oh god. I'm bleeding. She's still too fast. Reginald wouldn't have gone before, so we couldn't heal up. We had to kill her early. Now that fight took a bit longer, so our performance is only good. What a shame. Well, what a travesty. I like Intimidate for Magnus. Applies a lot of good debuffs and it vanishes, so you don't have to draw it again. However, it is a one-time use because it vanishes, so I do have to be careful with that. I could go for a melee build, slicing with Andrin, and going mainly for like marks. Marks do increase everyone's damage, which is very, very nice. And that could be a good way of swapping out into it by having 16 cards I can remove one aim shot, for instance, which for a melee build doesn't really do like much. We could get an Ice Lance here. Ice Lance is free, which I really like, and it deals cold damage, and we can upgrade it so it'll also slow as well. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. No worries. Eat as much as you want. We can also get a bunch of skills here, but Shadow Man, again, shadow spells are not very good for him. He's more of a man of God, right? He wants the word of God, just blasting people. Now we're at the stone statue, okay? I know a secret to the statue, and you're gonna see it too. The Imp Altar. At the end of the hall, you find a large stone statue of an imp. The placement of the statue is suspicious. It's clear that it's used as an altar of some kind. You found imps before wandering around freely, and this statue may have something to do with it. What do you want to do? You don't want to touch this altar and be surrounded by imps by accident. We can just leave. We can examine it, which I'm going to do, and you're going to see why. Carefully, you inspect the statue to find something unusual. You also smash it, break it, so that it can no longer be used at a 46% chance. Okay, I'm going to try to go for the examine, because this statue holds a secret. Oh, 4 or lower. If Reginald pulled anything besides foresight, we were doomed, because Evelyn is trying to toss it for the entire team. You notice some loose, small stones on the statue. Upon closer examination, you discover that those stones are buttons. You press the one that looks more used, and a secret door opens behind the statue. We all get 64 experience as well, and experience is split between everybody, so. In this secret room, you get a potion, an ephemeral potion. Potion seller, I require your strongest potion. The secret door takes you to a room with a large chest. You open the chest and find some items that might be useful. Among them, a bright orange potion catches your eye. You can't handle my potion, traveler. As soon as you take the potion out of the chest, its contents begin to disappear. You don't know if it's drinkable, but there's no time. And only one can drink it before it completely vanishes. In co-op, this is a clusterfuck. Everybody knows what this potion does, okay? We all know, okay? Everyone fights for it. So you'll see one vote for this character, one vote for this character, one vote for this character, one vote for this character. Every single person votes for their own character to drink a potion, okay? And you know what? Let fate decide who will drink it. I want to replicate that in my single player playthrough. Fight to the death. Oh, we got demolished, Jesus Christ. This potion is nice because it gives you heat surge. So when you draw it, you draw one more card. So this card disappears and you draw that other card. You get rid of all burn on you, and you gain the 1 energy immediately and 2 insulate. So you immediately take less elemental damage. You drink the potion, you notice your body warming up. After a brief moment, you feel a surge of energy within you, and your body temperature drops again. You do not know exactly why, but you believe that this phenomenon will repeat itself again. And for everyone else, you just take items out of the chest. Sorry, we're all losers here, so we can't take anything. Now, there's a couple of really good items here, okay? Piggy Bank is really nice, because when you die, you retain 20% golden shards, okay? It's very important. For most of the base difficulty, when you die, you actually get to keep a portion of your golden shards into the next run. This is very, very nice, because you're gonna need it to get like a good head start if you're still trying to learn the game. It helps you get like a nice solid head start. However, you see that it replaces my soap. And Magnus is one stinky dog, okay? You really don't want a stinker dog. By the way, you guys ever heard of someone calling someone a lucky dog? I don't know why people used to say that a lot online. People used to always say like, oh, you're such a lucky dog. And I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? Like, that sounds almost like... It sounds comedic in how nonsensical it is. Instead, we're gonna give him some scholar robes, okay? Put on some robes, get some elemental resistances. Again, we're in an elemental place. It's pretty good. And we also notice a little interesting thing here. When hero crosses the same item twice, the item will transform to its corrupted version. So if you find 2 torches and you give both torches to the same person, you get the upgraded version, which gives even more bonuses, which is always better, usually, than just having the base version. Always. We could go for this thing over here, because I want the torch on Evelyn for more burn charges. And then we could go for probably this woolly hat for Reginald in order to stay alive. So we can actually go for the amulet for him, torch, and woolly hat for him. Gives him a bit of shield at the start of combat, block, and gives him bonus resistance. We now get to the summoning circle. The summoning circle. You reach the end of the base when you can see many cultists in the summoning circle. Something has begun, and from the number of cultists, it does not seem like just a normal imp will show up. They become aware of your presence near the ritual, and some cultists leave the circle to confront you. The cultist looks at you suspiciously, waiting for an answer. We respond by drawing our weapons and striking first, which I'm going to tell you right now is probably a bad choice. We also tell them that we're new here. I'm new in town, and you've come to help with the ritual. 25% chance? Might as well fight them first. They react a little slowly and start to fight with some advantage. Certain actions give you certain buffs. So for instance, because we attacked first, we have a churn bonus of 4 speed. Our speed is much higher except for our mages, which, I mean, these guys are just monstrously fast. But at least our front 2 can go way before them, and at least our 2 magical characters can go before their magical characters. But you can see that this fight is much, much harder. These guys are kind of monstrous. We can do a lot of damage to the people in the back, though. And potentially even kill them early on, if I'm very, very good at what I do. And then Blade Slam. But I should block her. He's gonna need the block not to die. Because I think these guys are gonna blast him. Yep, Firebrand. And Burning Javelin. And Kindle. He burns himself, gives him a buff, and brands me. Now, enemies play with your deck in very interesting ways. This game is a very complex card game. It's why I love this game a lot. It's a very complex card game with a lot of different plays on the existing on the base mechanics of the game, right? The entire stat system of the game is so complicated, but what they've done is make it so that it blends well with the cards that you can play with, and what kind of things the enemies and you can do. Firebrands, for instance, now when I draw them, the front person, when they draw them, they lose that draw. So if they draw both, they only have three cards for their turn. And they suffer fire damage, they get burned, and they get marked. It's a very complex game, and you need to be aware of everything that happens in order to succeed. I should frostball that mage, kill her early. Oh, okay, good. She's going to die anyways to the burn. We can ignite the back mage, burn her a bit alive, and do some bonus damage. Reginald, what can he do? He suffered a broken bone, so he doesn't get anything actually. That's unfortunate. Should keep this because 1 wet. Remove 1 charge when this happens. Removes burn from the target when applied. So even though it only applies 1 wet, it immediately removes all burn from her. Which, for me, it doesn't really help. But it really saves them. Instead, we smite them. Hey, you guys heard of God? Hey, can we speak to you about the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? You know, I used to never get people walking up to my door. My wife and I have never seen someone walk up to our door to be like, hey, can we speak to you about X, Y, Z? Which is weird because I read online about people always getting visits from Mormons and stuff. And wow, the 3 draw actually happens to me. The only thing we can do is Coat of Arms. We can swipe and get some shielding on her so she doesn't burn. But I have always wanted to see someone come up to my door. It'd be interesting to talk to them just to see. Because I'm curious what it must be not. It must be tough going around. Cold Sparker. Again, she has elemental resistance though, but it at least gets rid of her evasion for a free, at the cost of a free card. You can then just charge the first guy, mostly. Fire Blast, and I'm already insulated, so let's insulate instead Magnus. Because if he gets more Fire Brands, he's gonna take a lot of fire damage. Oh no, doesn't it? Aw shit, here we go again. Maybe we do Flash and heal, and oh god, she's still gonna take a lot of burn damage. Oh shit, I should use Rain at some point. Look, wow, good. We can deflect, get a new card. We can then do detection, and then we can rupture the front guy, do a little bit of bleed damage to him, and slow him down too as well. Then do Captain's Howl, which is very good. Slows everybody, gives them all vulnerable. And then do Intimidate on the mage at the back, barricade everyone on my team, and defend myself and shield the people in the back. Or maybe me actually, because I'm going to burn to that. I mean Magnus, not me. I do not self-insert myself or self-identify as Magnus. I swear to God. I swear to God. I do not self-identify as Magnus. I do not. Get some unstable power. You can see my energy with her is insane, okay? Charge Battery gives you 1 Energize, which gives you 1 bonus energy at the start of the next turn. The problem is that my bar is so full that it doesn't really matter what I do. I'm just kind of like stacked in terms of energy now. Like, she'll always have 10, so I need a large card to play. Oh god, we're slowly dying. You can see why I didn't want to do this fight. Sorry. I can do that to get rid of the burn on him. I should maybe shield him too, so he takes a lot less damage next turn. That was a lot less, but still a lot. Jesus. Aim shot on her. I'll leave the front to Magnus. I believe he can do it. Oh, but he goes anyways though. Okay, at least we have insulate. Oh god, he has shield. Oh god, insulate please. Rend. Oh my god, this is bad. I don't have enough healing. Uh-oh. Oh no. 15 burn. That's minus 8%. Oh no. 8? Okay, he's probably dead. This is not good. We can do Heat Wave to burn everyone even more, but then that's gonna kill me mostly. So maybe not. I mean, we could. To kill her at least, right? Then we can burn this guy down. And then we can keep insulating him just in case and give energy over to Reginald so he can maybe heal some more people using transmission. Unless he doesn't pull a single healing card. Unless Reginald says, hey, you guys are dealing damage? Let me in on that shit. Holy cow, Reginald. My brother in Christ, do you even know where you are? Do you even know what role you're playing, Reginald? Oh, this is bad. Oh, Reginald, why? Dog. Good, okay, these two will die at the start of the turns. But not before... Oh, Magnus. Oh, good. He's playing on defense. Pussy. Ah, Blood Rain! Haha, removes burn. Perfect. Okay. Now, I don't really want to attack him because he's going to die anyways. I might as well, again, you can save energy between turns. You don't have to use your Genji. Your cap is 10 and you have 3. You can just save your Genji for next turn. You might as well shield yourself though, just in case, so you don't die. So next turn he'll have 5. I didn't waste my move on a dude who was going to die. And so next turn, when his turn does pop up, I can do more. I should maybe Elemental Ward Andrin. Charge Battery. And I could do double thing, but I could also burn him. But he dispels burn, so maybe slow him, yeah. Do ice damage, slow him. And then Reginald can maybe heal? I don't know. That's not really effective. Good, lead him. Cut him down. Yes! Can I get the hour? Hour! You may notice I'm not killing him yet because I want to heal first. I think Reginald can get the heal. He won't do enough damage to really hurt him. See that? Boom. I can get some bonus healing now. If I can get transmission. Yes! Reginald, for the love of God, do something first. Good. Wait, that was useless actually. I need to save 1 energy to deal 9 damage, okay? So I can do double healing here. Onto Magnus and blast him. Because again, your health bar stays at the end of combat until next combat. So if you're really low, good luck. Good effing luck. You're basically doomed. Couple options here that we can do. We can get shield charge, which equals our shield block. However, it costs 3. You have to stack your block beforehand using Fortify, I think, to make best use of it. Repair Armor is probably the best here. Poison Dart is interesting. A random enemy, it's a small weapon, and it applies 4 poison as well. That's actually free. Shock Nova, all monsters, yo. And Healing Rain. Perfect. To get rid of all the fire on us. Lord of the Imps. You may remember we were at a summoning circle. The ritual ended. The room filled with red smoke. The temperature rose rapidly. We don't know if it went well or not, but all the remaining cultists start to flee in panic after realizing what they've done. An impressive imp appears before you. It's the greater demon, Belfior, the Lord of the Imps. What do you want from me, mortal? For those being weakened by the precarious summoning conditions, you can't underestimate them. Couple of options. Well, we were just passing through, killing cultists. Can we leave? 75% chance, pretty good. He is weakened, and we could kill him and defeat him right now, forever. We can attack him. Or, we can persuade him. Oh, great Belfior. Maybe there's something we could do for you. 46% chance, but I believe in the heart of the cards. Yu-Gi-Oh! We failed. Oh! I saw the 1, sorry. I saw the 1, and I was like, we definitely failed. Interesting. You don't seem to be one of those cultists who enslave my kind by summoning us whenever they like. Here's the deal. Take this scroll and use it in a place full of cultists. They'll summon a horde of imps, and they'll take revenge without being controlled. Do this, you'll be greatly rewarded. You get the scroll. You get the scroll and leave the basement. We also level up. As you level up, you get different kinds of things. So everyone has a passive, every single character, right? He's well trained. He's a well-trained dog. I can't believe it. I can't believe that I've never seen that. I've never noticed. I never knew the connotation between well-trained and him being a dog. Is it offensive to say good boy to like a talking dog? Like, okay, imagine if it's like Final Fantasy and there are like dog people or like cat girls and cat boys, right? And you say good boy. Is that offensive or no? I don't think so. Maybe they'd feel good. Ooh woo. Now, there's a couple of things. Okay, you can go down 2 sides of the tree. The left tree seems to be mostly dealing with damage. Okay, so for instance, you can at the very highest level, you get all damage done plus 7, which is insane. Okay. On the left side on the right side is defense. You get the Wolf Guard, and at the very end, you get plus 1 energy regen, which gives you more options. Now, I've already kind of moved them towards damage, so we might as well. Follow-up is nice. Reduce the cost of the highest attack in your hand by 3 until discarded, but that's only for the first single attack in your hand, okay? For the next attack until you use it. So you don't even have to use it, you can just keep it and never use it, and you still get the bonus. And you still get the bonus of this enchantment, I think, until you use it. I think. This one, however, is very nice. Wolfguard gives you 10% more resistances, and when you get damaged, you gain block. And it lasts up until someone hits you 4 times. If they hit you all 4 times, you get all 4 instances of this block instantly. 15 times 4, that's 60. I think this is better overall compared to one large attack, because it's, for the most part, you're going to deal... being able to survive is worth more than necessarily dealing one large hit, which he doesn't really have a good card for it yet, and I don't think we've unlocked them yet. Andrin, his passive gains 1-on-1 fast, and again, same deal, but a bit different. You can be more melee, or more defensive, right? More melee or more range. So if we go to ranged option, we can get maneuver, and the main thing is the range mastery as well as marksmanship. You get 2 sharp, which increases your physical and slashing damage, and you also reduce the card of your range attacks by 1 until this discarded. Melee, however, when you play a melee attack, that costs energy, you refund 1 energy and you gain more powerful, which increases your damage by 5% per. You also get a copy of the card Wild Hunt to your hand, which is for every energy used, apply 1 random mark to a random enemy for this 1 single turn. The problem is that it's kinda hard to use this. Like, for this 1 turn, you have to go crazy on it. This 1 turn, you have to go wild. I'm gonna try it though. Now, Evelyn. I like Evelyn's builds, right? She has 2 different kinds of builds. You have kind of like a more supporty build versus a more full-on damage build, right? Or like a spell slinger versus a glass cannon build, okay? There's one thing that I want to get from her. Enchant weapons, right? Elemental proliferation is nice. For 1 turn, any damage you would deal applies all 3 elements all at once, and you deal bonus damage with them. That's fine. But you can change any of your allies' element to anything else. Into fire, into lightning, or into cold. It also boosts the damage of that element because then now you apply the status effect up to 12 attacks. Reginald, I mean, he's just a monster. So we're just going to go with Divine Retribution because Blessing gives him more damage and more healing, okay? More healing received and more damage done. And I'm trying to make him kind of a healing, a damage dealing monster. That was a lot to say. Leveling up is very complicated in this game. You can see a lot of the sort of like similarities between other games that I've played with this game. There's a lot of complexities in terms of like character builds, decisions where you can move around and like stuff. And what you can do in the game to sort of like that changes between run to run that keeps it feeling fresh and interesting even after you're done the first time. Like even though I played this game like for like 100 hours, I still find fun in it because there's so many different ways that you can go through the game moment to moment. It's even more interesting now that I've started over because I have less options now. I feel even more constrained. I feel like I have to really push the envelope in what I know on what to do. Again, we still need to get to the DLC area, which is going to be after this like final boss fight here, okay? We need to get the other DLC thing over here as well. So let's go to the Northern Plains, because there's a rare event over here by this book. And it also leads us to this green book, which I think I know what it is, and it's always good. This Northern Plains place is just a regular combat. Nothing too special, we just kill them, it's not too bad. Random monster. That's actually really good. I want to kill the giant wolf first. Because that guy, I think he can buff everyone else, I think. It's either he buffs or he makes them stronger or he makes them tanky. I can't remember what exactly he does. I just know it's bad. Bad, not good. Hit jazz hip-hop band. By the way, funny fact. Apparently bad, not good. When they were first sort of like in school and like doing their audition for the conservatory or something, the person judging them was like, no one's ever gonna like this. And I'm like, dude, you're tripping balls. It kind of makes me realize like how many people have like this sense of people think they know what's like good, but I guarantee you nobody knows anything about the world, right? Even those at the very, very top, for the most part, we're all just winging it and placing bets on what we think is actually correct. But I mean, if somebody says to bad, not good, that you're not gonna do, that what you do, no one's gonna like it, that to me says that, you know, you can't predict anything about the future. I'm biased though, because I really like Bad, Not Good. It's a very, very good musical group. Everything that they do, it's just a banger. Absolute bangers. It banging, bussin'. It's bussin'. Slice him down. Okay, defend. Okay. Look at that. The Wolf Guard. I think we're okay for this fight. I don't think we'll take too much damage. But we do need to think about healing a lot. Right? The more we heal, the better off we're going to be. So I think transmission him. Blast him with this. And then Fire Wave. It's worth it to Fire Wave because I think we can heal more than the fire does damage to us. If only Reginald would stop trying to play a DPS character. For the love of God. What are you doing? Reggie! Man. Well, dude, Nintendo's Nintendo America CEO is going buck wild, dude. Come on, Reggie. Give me something good, Reggie. Come on. Wild Hunt. Cut this dog down. Wow! Ah, nice. Double mark. He's dead. Now, have you heard of the Wolf Wars? Good. He's dead instantly. Look. Nice. We minimize damage and we heal even more. We're going through very smoothly. I think we'll actually be able to make it to the DLC. This is a very good spot to be in. Usually, I wouldn't have thought that we would have... Oh my god. They upgraded the icon. They upgraded the icon of the card to the meme. Amazing. Sharing is caring. Wait, what's his voice like? Arnold. Share. Sharing is caring. I can't do his accent. It's really hard. I do like Ren for the bleed. And if we're going for a melee build, realistically, Rupture is actually decent, right? It is a melee attack, and it does piercing damage. And because if we get to Momentum, It's only gonna cost 1 energy, technically, so it's even better. Heat Wave? That only affects monsters? Of course. Ooh. We could go Mind Blast and give someone like a concussion. Or Holy Ripple. A tower side, I think this is the one. Here. The Soldier Trainer. As you go around the tower, you see a man with a wooden sword practicing some movements. When you approach, he speaks to you. Hello, adventurers. Perhaps you're interested in some combat training? I can teach one of you my special defensive move for 200 gold. If you all want to learn it, it'll cost you 1,000 though. Administrative costs and all that. Used to train young soldiers this time, but since the war ended, I'm out of work and short of money. This seems like an opportunity to learn something new. I don't remember what this does. So give this to Magnus. Oh, if I hovered, it would have told me. Take cover. After training for a while, only one of you manages to learn the new defensive move, but it was good combat practice, and the whole group gained some experience. So we draw 1 when we pull this, we dispel slows, and we gain 8 shield. That's actually really good for a tank. Edge of the Forest. The icon was a heal icon because in the middle of the maps, you get to heal up a bit to prepare for later. Just like I'm going to heal, just like my team is going to heal, I need to heal by going to the washroom. I'll be right back, just a moment. Okay, I'm back. I also saw a video of like a manatee. God, I love manatees. They're so weird. The Fan Gates. You're entering the northern part of the forest. The Fan Gates guarding the abandoned camp stand before you, and the path ahead will not be easy. Now is the perfect time to rest or prepare for the battle ahead. Remember that you don't have much time to spare, so you can only do 1 activity before continuing. What will it be? There's a bunch of options here, okay? We can just rest and heal up, and in general, you always kind of heal up, I think, except for certain options. For being near abandoned camp, we can surely find some gold or shards and get a bit more resources, but resources aren't really worth it compared to healing up a bit, especially since both our frontliners are pretty weak. We found a forest trail here. Maybe it can lead us directly into the bandit camp, which I don't really know if we want to take a shortcut or not. That seems awful. However, we have 2 injuries, okay? We have 2 injuries. One has a broken leg and the other has low self-esteem. Very, very deadly injuries, okay? My god. Lack of confidence? Say it ain't so, okay? This option, it's not really clear, but not only does it doesn't really remove injuries, it lets you remove any card from your deck once, including injuries, including regular cards. So it's actually nice for your entire party to get 1 removal. The healing, however, is conditional. With 30% chance to pull a healing spell to be able to heal, but you always get the card removal. This is the best shot, I think, because these injury cards do kind of suck. Come on. Reggie! You have time to treat 1 injury and heal a bit. You have 1 card for free from each hero. And look at that. We're all nice and healthy now. Reggie! What's the guy's name? Like the president of Nintendo America? Reggie Molyneux? Or is that the guy from Fable? I forget his name. Now, we need mostly melee attacks, so we get rid of aim shots here. Anything that's like bad aim shots. There we go. Yeah. Now, let's go to the rare event, because I don't know what this is. At the West Fan Gates. The Apprentice Craftsman. Hiding behind a tree, you find a gnome fiddling with a couple of gadgets. You approach him and ask what he's doing there.
Hi, I'm Timothy. I'm waiting for my master, but it's been several days since he left me here, and I'm beginning to think he's abandoned me. I know I'm not a good apprentice, and my inventions tend to backfire, but I'd like him to come back. Please, if you see him, tell him I'm going back to the workshop, okay?
By the way, if you want, you can keep any of the inventions. Yeah, I made them myself, you see. If you see his master, you'll give him a message. Why not? Accept it. After hearing you, the gnome gathers his things and leaves, leaving behind many of his gadgets. You search through them to see if there's anything you can use. Now they backfire, so I remember, yes, these backfire. Well, some of them do. This one's nice. Slingshot, for instance. Every turn, you just throw like a rock at someone. And if you upgrade it, you would throw a rock that like makes you bleed. Some of these, though, are kind of silly. You can, for instance, cooling servers, you increase your cold damage, but when you play a spell, you also get slower. You get Emerald Necklace to go faster, which I think for a tank is actually good. But maybe surviving is better. Oh, when you play a melee attack, suffer 1. Oh. Suffer 1 bleed. Huh. Oh, because it's a razor, so you hurt yourself. Well, that's useless. Maybe the ring, then, just to get more resistance. Oh, man. Pebble Throw for our ranger, because he's pretty good. Might as well go Spyglass for her, so she can, like, help us see things. And then you get nothing. You just get nothing. Oh, God. To the bandit camp we go. Fresh meats! When entering that bandit camp, you see a really big werewolf yelling and giving orders to other werewolves. He notices your presence and looks at you with a mocking face. That's Yager. the Butcher of Sinentia, and he has been terrorizing the Sinentia forest for a long time. It's time to put a stop to Yager and disperse the bandits once and for all. Running away now would only make things worse. Now, the Wolf Wars is a funny meme in my friend group. If you look at the map, the first time that I went here with my friends, we went over here. There's a dialogue option where it's like, oh, have you heard of the Wolf Wars? And you can try to regale them with your stories of the Wolf Wars. And we all voted for it because it sounded funny, and we immediately failed. And ever since then, every time we have Magnus, we're always like, we always go for the Wolf War options. It's just funny to me that like every time he tells his story, it just doesn't work, right? Now, a couple of options here. We just go straight into the fight. You guys are already met, and there's not much more to say. You also try to run. You expect to fight a big werewolf, meaning a slim chance of escape, 13% chance. Or, I know him. He served under me in the Wolf Wars. Maybe I can reason with him.
Well. Evidencing Captain Magnus in the flesh. Do you think your fancy words would change me? I see you're still as foolish as ever. You seem to remember who gave you that scar. This time I'll kill you and take the Wolf Slayer with me.
Fortunately, you had time to prepare for combat while he spoke. That's why, listen, if you're gonna be like a villain, you should just like fight immediately. Now this guy's hard, okay? He is a full-on boss. You can tell by his giant health bar. But not only is he a boss, he's a summoner. He's a summoner who does damage, is a boss, and has all kinds of mechanics. In the first DLC for this game, he's also a new playable character with his own set of cards and different abilities as well. That first DLC was heavily panned because it only included one new character and an act where you couldn't even play any of your existing characters that was completely separate from the rest of the game. It talked about more lore in the game, but it's completely different from everything else. This game has had unfortunate luck with DLC, and I think they've sort of they've come face to face with the expectations that gamers have. People that buy games have of like, there's a certain market of like people who don't want to be ripped off for certain kinds of things. You just tried Grandpa? No, sorry. I'm still making the Grandpa stuff. However, the Grandpa stuff will come soon. Soon you can vote on Grandpas. It's gonna be a lot of fun very soon. I just need to make it happen. But welcome back. This guy's strong, so we really want to do as much damage as we can. If we can slow him, we can get our mages to go first before he summons anyone, which will increase our damage because most of the units can only attack at the front. I'm not even gonna block because I just really want to smash him as fast as I can. Only block for himself. Now this is good. Enchant weapon is insane, okay? Now all of his damage can be a certain element instead of just physical. If you look at the character sheet for Yager, he's pretty strong against everything. Every single element except for two things. He sucks versus lightning, and he sucks versus... Sorry, just lower the volume. And he sucks versus mines, right? So mental damage hurts him a lot. However, mentally, I'm not prepared by it. So we do electrical damage. Try to do as much electrical damage as possible. But yeah, the Grandpa commands are gonna come soon. So the problem with the Grandpa commands has always been like, you know, where to like how to get the money to do it, basically. However, not that I have the money, but there's I found a good hosting solution for the server to run that stuff. Because you need a server to run that stuff because it has to store something somewhere. It's all very complicated to say that it's not free to do. But now that I have something, it's going to be very interesting from now on. You can now vote on who gets to be the top Grandpa. Right now the rankings are static. You're now enrolled in the human urinal. You can also there's a new command. Now that you're back in the human urinal, you can now type unregistered ! Unregistered. Try it. You can leave. You're free now. Not again. Yeah, actually, not again. How do you always get the human urinal? Mind you, it's a 1 in 10 chance. It's a 1 in 10 chance. You have a 10% chance to get it, and you always get it. It's not even rigged. It's not even rigged. I'm not even kidding you. It's not. It's completely fair. Yes, fair. I didn't sell it for no reason. Okay, we're kind of doomed here. We can dispel mark on someone, but there's no mark on anyone. We can give more armor, but again, it's not really gonna help me because it turns up at the end. We should just do as much damage as we can. The middle guy does do healing, so he healed the lowest HP monster by 15. But why shouldn't I? Why heal when I can just kill? Why shouldn't I? Reginald, I hope you can do something. Holy Ripple. Holy Nova. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Holy cow. Holy cow. Oh, it's a good thing that I went for the double. I forgot that he has a reinforce, which increases his resistances. So now we need to somehow target the healer. Now the healer has insulate, so it's very strong versus mage stuff, but not strong versus range or physical, which is good. Kill them both. I might as well, just to not, you know, be able to hit them now if I have anything that hits front only. Heat wave, ignite, fire blast. You're going down, Yager. Oh my god, he moonguarded. Oh shit. Now I'm curious how he plays as his own playable character. Because now that we have that DLC, I can also play with him on the second playthrough in the future at some point. Maybe not this playthrough, it depends on how much time I have. And it also depends on how fast we'll go through this game. Because this playthrough is already pretty long, and we're not even close to the end. There's 4 acts in this game. We're just on Act 1, by the way. And that's in the base game. In the base game. First aid! Hero. Dispel Bleed, heal 10%. That's actually pretty good. Wait. Or Sunder. We Sunder. Oh, Shadow Step is nice. You gain Speed, you gain Stealth, which increases your next attack after you use it, and you gain Energize for your next turn. This is a good turn ender. Another Shock Nova? We can do Renew, but it has to equal their regeneration, which is hard to get. Whereas Benediction grants 2 Blessing, and Blessing increases your damage done and healing received. And you heal. The Butch is deaf. You did it. Yager is no more. But the Butch is dead, the remaining bandits flee, and the Synanthia Force will be a little safer. Now you check the camp for gold and other valuable items. Time to claim your reward. It's all mine! Golden shards will scatter throughout the camp, and you also find a large chest where the bandits kept all the things they loot over time. These little barrels are what you use to do the metagame stuff. So the meta progression stuff. Very important. You're gonna get a lot better over time as you use those. Now let's see, who gets the best item here? Realistically, the melee weapon should probably go to Andrin because he's gonna do a lot of attacks, melee attacks, in quick succession, starting level 2, right? He has more quantity of attacks, even though the Wolf Slayer kind of sucks because that one random hero gets like a random thing. Like, it seems kind of awful actually. This armor would be crazy good for him. It's all resistance plus 12, speed plus 1, and max HP, which I really like. And we can give a bunch of other things to everyone else. However, Howl, shuffling Howl into your deck to all monsters to slow and give vulnerable is a lot better too. I think we go for Howl. You get this. You, I don't know what you get actually. What do you get? You get, I mean, you could go Ice now, but the Ice is useless. Especially with Burn is a lot better. And we can just get health. If you get this, every turn recover 5 HP if you upgrade it too. And you get Brigand Armor so you can actually heal in time, Reginald. Wow. Imagine healing us. Old Tree. Engage him quickly to catch him off guard. Okay, let me just boost the volume again. It's like off. Every single time it's like off. Ilmir's Awakening. The Obelisk is in sight, but something very dangerous is blocking the way. You volunteer to reclaim Shiba Island. Yo! Our first volunteer to... Oh wait, a second volunteer. Good, the 2 of you can reclaim Shiba Island. Oh, update on that game actually. Was it summer or was it... Yeah, summer or autumn with the Shiba Inu? That visual novel. Let's see, Autumn Shiba Inu. It has a release date now. Yeah, I'm very excited for this. It has a release date. Sometime in 2023, Autumn with the Shiba Inu is going to come out. I don't know when, considering that there's only a couple more months, but there's only 3 more months to wait. I'm excited. This Summer with the Shiba Inu was a great visual novel. I can't wait for the sequel. We actually get to reclaim Shiba Island for humanity soon. The Obelisk is in sight, but something very dangerous is blocking the way. Illimir, an old treant once known as the protector of the Synanthia Forest, has awakened and been tainted by the energy emanating from the now active Obelisk. Besides Illimir, there's a Trunky and a Dryad protecting him. You can't see any way to avoid confrontation, but maybe you can make the fight easier or worse depending on how you approach him. The challenge will be difficult, so what you do. Again, you see at the bottom too, there's some hidden options, okay? Some things, it depends on the characters that you bring, items, the gold, anything. There's a lot of different ways that these dialogues can go, and they actually all change significantly how the combats go or what happens later on. You have to go. You're gonna play with an old friend. No worries. Go have fun. You can also unregister by typing !unregister in order to free yourself from volunteering for Shiba Island. Keep that in mind. You can always unregister at any moment. We have a couple options. We can go fast and catch him off with a guard. We can rest behind a tree before attack, which we don't need to do. We're like pretty good. We can try to start in stealth to do bonus damage on the first hit, but it's gonna be a 30% chance. I say try it. See ya. Have fun. Oh my god, we demolished them. You managed to hide your presence and flanked Ilmir. The combat now begins with you making the first strike very impactful and taking the lead in combat. Sheesh. This is disgusting. Holy cannoli. Now, this middle one, you can see her moves here. She grants the slowest monster, which is the boss, bonus damage, 4% and 2% speed. She also burns. She's also a healer, actually. The front guy is a major range attack. He has thorns, he gets a lot of defense and like resistances, and he slows us down and absolutely demolishes us. And also, always I also always appreciate you guys coming to hang out. I just want to make that clear, because I usually never say it, but I do appreciate you guys coming to hang out. Hopefully you guys having fun too. Sprout. The boss, however, does some crazy things. The boss is really the main target always, and this boss is kind of a monster. When you move between acts, you fully heal, so you don't have to worry about healing by the end of this fight. You only have to worry about staying alive in this fight, because boy oh boy is this guy gonna demolish you. I say try to go for the healer as fast as we can. We can slice and then go back into stealth with Andrin to get another stealth combo in one go. Remember, our first move should be damage, because our damage deal is improved by 60%. So always start with a damage move first. I should have intercepted. I'm so stupid. Uh-oh. Oh, God. We have no good damage skills. We could do Cold Spark then, immediately. That's our best one. Now, fire, trees hate fire, right? Let's check his resistances. Boy, does he hate fire. Minus 20. This is good. Andrin, you're fired now. Just burn. Ah! We're on fire! I don't know if this is going to be it. We have to give as much blessing to Andrin as possible. Blessed be Andrin. Use your powers to demolish him! I mean, also I skipped away from the healing grain because it affects all monsters global, removes their burn, and gives us all one regen, which heals everybody by like 1 on the turn. I don't want to give the boss any more advantages than they already have. Oh! You're a fool. Time to die. Now again, I'm in stealth. Best to go. Oh, he's dead. Immediately, she's like that. No way. Oh. No. God damn it. If only I could have pulled that first, then maybe. Because I would have had like 6 wild hunt charges, unlike someone. But I can save it for next draw, and hopefully I get it again later on. I don't really know if I can, but let's hope for the best. I could do some repair armor on myself, give myself some shield. I can Blade Storm this guy and get rid of all of his Thorn stacks. You can see that Thorn stacks are pretty damn strongly. Every time you hit someone with like Thorns, it goes down by 1. So first hit, you take 3 damage, second hit, you take 2, last hit, you take 1, and then every other hit after that, it's gone. But at high enough Thorns, it can do a lot, especially if it's like AoE. That does a shit ton of damage. So do need to be careful about how much damage you take in these fights, especially for these monsters. Shock Nova! Nice! The boss, for instance, has 6 thorns. This boss in particular loves to stack thorns. He's kind of a monster if you try to deal with him without being prepared. This is usually where most people wipe for the first run. I wiped here on my first run because of that, and also because of a move called Hyper Beam. He's actually just he's a Pokemon. He does know Hyper Beam, and boy does he Hyper Beam the shit out of you. It's really strong. Mark him once, rupture, combo, and then burn him again. Look at that damage. 5 burn. Insane. Wolf Howl. Ow! Ow! Maybe shield Reggie and do me. Because when he moves, we're all gonna take a lot of damage. We can do this. We can do Elemental Ward on myself, I guess. Do a transmission on him to heal. Ignite. Shock Nova. No! I should have Shock Nova instead of igniting. That was a mistake. We can't do Healing Grain again because it's gonna force it all to go away. We do Bless. We can do Flash. We can do Barrier though. This is good. I don't want Andrin to die. He's the main guy who's gonna be dealing damage on a team. Random, by the way. Flower Stream, random by the way, random hero, random 4054. Huh? Dog. That's the exact same thing that happened in my co-op playthroughs. It always happened. I'm like, dog, random by the way. So I got him to remove summon cards, and now he has more damage cards overall. Yes. The vulnerable I think is worth more than the triple attack. Unfortunately. Oh, I should have intimidated Grace. And the bleed. Well, but he's immune to bleed. Okay, well I forgot. At least he's vulnerable though. Get some unstable power, heat wave. Then we can hopefully keep him alive a bit. Do frost balls and ice lance. He's dead. The mage. I mean, please. Oh yes. Shining Force. Good. Very good damage. And now you see the power of beating a boss early on. Excellent. Look at these cards. Infuriate, double your rage. Fury. I forget that it's called Fury. A mechanic that we haven't even seen before. 1,000 needles, 30 block, 8 thorns. Or shield slam, dealing a portion of your block to every single target to all monsters, but you lose all of your block. We have so many different options. I think we should be going for damage though, for the most part. I really want Infuriate, but the problem is that it's hard to get Fury at all with certain characters unless you get certain combo cards with it. Like, you need the cards to combo with it. However, he always has block, so why not? Now, as always, we're going for the melee track of things because we have a lot more melee cards than anything else. But this is good because we now have Puncture. Poison Spray is kind of nice. It's a ranged attack, but it's random, right? You just you repeat it twice, and some monsters make it hit, some might not. It's not really focusable. But Puncture, you always hit the back monster. Guess what monster is always at the back? The bosses, the important guys, the people who are strong, kind of like you know, the Reggies of the enemy team. Immolate is also nice. Deal 21 fire damage, apply 3 burn, but you suffer a bit of, you know, fire damage. Like you gotta burn, you gotta hurt yourself to hurt others. We can get Winter is coming, or we can get another Mana Gem. Though I don't know if 2 Mana Gems is really worth it, especially considering that she usually has a lot of energy, right? Whereas Winter is coming across the entire team, the entire enemy team, seems kind of insane. Oh, holy blast! X equals your bless times 1.5. Guess what this guy does? He only blesses, baby. That's the word of God, motherfucker. The path is clear. Ilmir will never wake up again. Ashamed that the once tall and wise Shreens like him had to end this way because of the mysterious reactivation of the Obelisk. Between Ilmir's roots, you see a large golden chest appear. You are one step closer to your objective. Inside the chest, you find some golden shards. Looks like a good amount of magic items that have been long forgotten hidden between Ilmir's roots. Now look at this. You get all kinds of good things, okay? One is the merchant badge. Sorry, Evelyn, you get the badge, okay? You also get different kinds of things, like banners. You get this thing, for instance, when you play a healing spell, you gain regen. You also can draw one if you play a healing spell, which is really good for Reggie. Honestly, both of these are really good. In general, drawing is a bit better because you get to play more cards. This one's also really good. 2 times per turn, when you play defense, gain 2 thorns, so you're even more tanky for the most part. You can also try and go for like a upgraded version, but I've never been able to get like an upgraded Idris or Roots or a War Banner or something. That seems really hard to look at. But let's see. If I'm playing to certain roles, for instance, I think a Shield of Thorns is nice for him. The Howl is okay. It gives a bit more advantage, but every turn getting 2 Thorns, that's gonna demolish certain multi-attackers, right? Andrin. Andrin. Yeah, and then Merchant, yeah, badge, and then draw. Healing book. Yeah. Sorry, I can't think of anything else. Now, we have the DLC now, so we can go into the DLC world, which I'm very curious about, yes? There are 4 different portals to go through. In the base game, there are 3 different portals to go through. 3. In the base game, you can go to all 3 of these. 3 different maps. The DLC that costs $1 more than the base game only adds 1 new act. It costs $1 more than the full game itself. I want you to really think about the value proposition here. There's something incredibly wrong with that value proposition, and I wonder why they've made that kind of cost benefit analysis, if only because they're running out of money for some reason. Is Paradox Interactive not giving them enough? What's going on? Why are they doing this? A lot of the reviews talked about this, okay? I want to emphasize here. I don't agree with the business practice even though I bought it. I simply agree with the fact that the DLC is actually really good. I think they've really, at least from what I've seen of it, outdone themselves in terms of the playthroughs that other people have done. But I don't think in terms of cost, it's worth it for the average person to buy. Thankfully, only the one host has to buy it. So if you have 4 friends, you can split among the cost of all 4 of you. But if you're a single person who's playing this game for yourself, which is more often than not the case, right? You're going to be spending $1, basically 2 times as much. You're going to be spending $50 total for the DLC. One for the base game, one for the DLC, the halves. I hope they really rethink sort of their future decisions going forward, but since we're here, let's judge it fairly by going right into the DLC map. We can always go through these other portals later, because again, the game consists of 4 acts, and for the first 3 acts, you get to choose where to go after. So we can go red or green after. We lose one quest, but whatever, we can go to the next one. It's fine. You find yourselves in front of the Obelisk. After centuries of inactivity, it is now bursting with energy, and the runes engraved in stone glow brightly. As you read the runes aloud, the wall of the obelisk warps and distorts, creating several portals. The time has come to cross the obelisk. Where will you go? Cross the yellow portal, which dry and dusty air comes out. To the sands of Olminen. You cross the portal. Before you realize it, you're already in another place. Now for context, I've already beaten this game multiple times. Just I play in a separate Steam account to, hopefully protect my identity a bit more when I'm doing this stuff. Again, if I wanted to show my face and everyone to know who I was, I wouldn't make this like stupid stick figure VTuber model, right? It also is fun to sort of like cosplay. Yeah, I really like it, so. The group went across the obelisk, and in an instant found themselves in another place, far from Sedentia's forest. One of the mysteries of the obelisk has just been revealed to them. In ancient times, also, I just want to clarify, I don't mean V2 being stupid, I mean my model specifically is stupid. It's just a stick figure, like my model is dumb. In ancient times, the obelisk was used as a means of transportation, since reaching this land by road would take several days. They searched for signs the princess or Lord Handshake had been here, only found 2 pairs of footprints leading away from the area. The group looked to the horizon and saw that there was another obelisk in this area that was active. Undoubtedly, the princess and Lord Handshake had something to do with the activation of the obelisk. The next destination of the group was clear. This is an entirely new map from the DLC. I have no clue what to expect. I can see though that there's already a new character here and a new character here. We're gonna go straight for both characters after, so make sure we plan our path down correctly. As you can see, for instance, if you go here, it doesn't lead to this character. Remember, look carefully at the arrows in which direction that they flow towards. If they only flow towards, one way, you can only go that one way. If they don't flow at all, then you can't go there. There's 2 paths, but to get both characters, which you can't do in one go. You can't get both characters in one go. Do I get Dami Mommy or the Hooded Maniac? Oh, I didn't get Yager. Shit, I forgot to do Yager. Okay, we'll do that on the second playthrough, while also trying the new character too. The Olminen Desert. Now all the towns are the same. It's kind of funny when you think about all the towns being the same. It's literally the same buildings and the same people. Like I imagine that the obelisk just transports the entire town, and they have no choice, right? So you bring everyone. You bring your bank, your blacksmith, your pasture, your fortune teller. Like everyone comes. It's a party. And one day it's hot, one day it's cold, one day it's wet, one day there's giant mosquitoes biting you. Who knows? We have a couple of upgrades here. We can do a bunch of things. Look, see that? Removing cards in starting town is free. This one's important. Not the ability to reroll. The currency retention at the end game is increased. The cost of transforming cards is reduced, and the common cards available for crafting increased to 2. Baller. Yo. There's some good items here too. Okay. First things first, we remove some cards. Okay, we have way too many cards. We need to get rid of some cards here. Make some space now. I don't like Fast Strike. I do like Rend. I like Bleed in general. I think Bleed's a really good set. But we need to think about removing Anjun's cards. Anjun has way too many bad cards now. Because especially if we're going for the melee build, it's better to go for the melee moves, yes? It's better to go especially for things like Rupture over Slice, I think. Rupture is only going to cost 1 and roughly. after you get to level 2, so it's not too bad of a boost. Poison Dart should probably go too. I don't really know why I have this actually. Random monster applies bleed. It's a small. I mean, it's free, but it's also like, is it worth it? Nah. Is it worth it? Let me work it. I should have got rid of the expert tracker. Shit. That's fine. That thing goes away after. It's a vanish. Evelyn is also the next one I want to remove certain cards for. She has a lot of cards that aren't very good, like Fire Blast. Though it's free, it does so little damage that it's not really worth it. And Ice Lance too, I shouldn't have gotten, really. It was kind of a mistake. Cold Spark is nice, it's whatever. Now these are the hard ones. I don't really know which one to get rid of. Frostbolts, I'm not a big fan, especially if I have, like, the Novas, right? Holy Nova, because they cost 2 and they only slow. And I don't really like slow. Transmission is kind of useful, and Charge Battery is amazing. These two is a great combo, but again, I really want to get down to 15 cards at most, okay? Transmission, however, is Vanish. In Charge Battery, I can keep on using to gain a large amount of energy, okay? Maybe instead, then, we can get rid of Ignites, 1 Shock Nova. Maybe 2 Shock Nova was too much, or even Winter is Coming, actually. Shock Nova is better than Winter is Coming. Okay. Especially if I can just keep using it, right? Then I can get rid of, maybe even both. I mean, one is Vanish anyways, this Shock Nova. So maybe we get rid of one. Oh, I can't, because that's, okay, oops. That's the minimum. I don't care about Foresight, to be honest with you. I don't know why, but Foresight, why is the music doing this? But Foresight doesn't really excite me. If that makes sense. I don't know if that's a really good way of saying it. Being able to know what the enemy does is like cool and all, but why care when just killed? Why care when killed, right? And why heal when holy? Holy Nova. Now, we can't buy any items from the shop. It's fine. There's a couple of good items, but again, this one, for instance, if you upgrade, you can always be stealth, but it's really hard to upgrade, right? So it's not really worth risking all the money to do this when I can get a guaranteed smaller deck to guarantee better chances of fighting. What I will do, though, is I will upgrade my cards here. There's a couple of upgrades on my cards that are very, very good. That are very handy to have, because stuff like this, for instance, it vanishes, and it heals, and it shields, and it get out of my inventory for later. Flash is also nice to get rid of, and Holy Blast, for instance, can do a lot of damage over and over, but it can also, vanish and stuff like that. Like, you have a lot of choices on what to do, basically. I'm trying to figure out how to explain all this in a way that makes sense, but I don't know how, because this game is complicated. Very complicated. This one could chain one more, actually, which wouldn't be too bad. The whole goal of this move is really to apply Sanctify, which, as you see, the reason why I get rid of the healing cards is because of Sanctify. You apply a debuff that allows your units to heal when they hit that target. That's not too bad, right? Chaining one more would increase the amount of healing total. But I don't know if that's worth it, compared to Charge Battery, which, I mean, you can just keep on charging, right? Elemental Ward, I want both of them to be free. Because then I can only use them once anyways. There's no point, having it, kind of like just be there constantly. I want one transmission to stay forever, though. At least one. And the Mono Gem, these cards cost a lot to upgrade, so you don't really want to spend too much. Andrin, however, needs a lot of upgrades here. This one's huge. Puncture, for instance, can become 1 cost at some point, which is very, very good. But Slices are the ones that I want to upgrade to get the Mark. The Mark is very, very nice. And 1 Rupture as well, to go for any single monster. Although Front Monster, that's not too bad for Front Monster, actually. You know what? Heck it. If Slice is Front Monster, we might as well go for that as Front Monster too. Why not? And of course, our boy Magnus gets nothing because I didn't calculate it correctly. Well, oops. How do we get to him? Let's go for him first, because we might as well, right? We get to the top half of the map. We can go from here. There's only one spot we have to get over here. Cliff Trail. We can get here by going here, or here. We're gonna see the tent anyways when we go over here. So we might as well go up here, because this is his unique way of like, getting to him. So let's go to the desert. And the desert cliff. There's a stone door that we can go to after as well. Yeah. Oh my god! Wait, it's a dog from, what's that movie? Holy shit, it's that dog from that movie. You know what I mean? That was a terrible explanation, sorry. But you have to know. I mean, it's that dog from that movie. It's that beetle from that movie. It's that bird from that movie. It's the bird from Kung Fu Panda. Master Crane! Now this is the DLC area, okay? For context, again, I don't necessarily agree with the pricing, but let's see how good this place is. It is a DLC that costs as much as the base game. Well, $1 more than the base game. But only provides 1/4 of the content of the base game. It's from what it seems like from just reading the list, okay? I'm curious why they priced it the way it is. Is it really that groundbreaking for it to cost so much? I'm very curious. Because again, they double backed on what they did on their decision. Which I don't think it was a developer decision. Again, I think it was a publisher decision because they joined Paradox Interactive before then. And then Paradox Interactive then said, they worked with them to change how DLCs work, and only the host has it. I'm assuming something went really wild there. I'm assuming. Charge. These guys do a lot of damage. The dog is also very strong and buffing, but he's going to die soon. This guy is crazy strong. He's very sort of offensive. He seems like mostly an assassin type. Mostly for the front though, it seems like. The middle beetle seems very strong though. Removes decay. Being able to apply decay to me significantly reduces the likelihood of me being able to stay healthy throughout fights, right? Because it's rare for me to get healing cards anyways. But then on top of that, he reduces it by 50% when I do get it, right? It's going to be very, very hard to ignore. Its Vanish is the one that we have. He deals enough damage to kill him, and the Shock, remember, Shock does damage to targets beside him. So this target doesn't get damaged, the people around him do. So this guy, even though he takes 15 from everything else, it doesn't even include shock damage, which would be another 2, up to 17 total. I should be blessing Anjin for the most part, I think. It's worth it in general, but I could also bless myself from major damage. Anjin himself has his own buffs now, so really splitting the damage amounts across 2 characters is more worth it, because then you won't accidentally get to a point where, say, Anjin dies, and you're left with Reggie, Evelyn, and Magnus, and all of your damage is gone because it was all on Anjin, right? It's better to split as much as you can. This is awful. I hate that I can't do this, and I have to waste an attack before I can do Wild Hunt. Wow, that sucks. Well, hell, might as well. I was hoping to do Wild Hunt first, but again, if you're in stealth, only your first move actually gets the bonus damage. So you ideally want to use it on the first, your first move out of stealth as a damage move. What is this? Mark. Oh no. Shovel Sentry Alarm. Oh my god, and it deals damage and applies Mark. Holy shit. He's gonna impale me, which chains 1 to anybody around him, and he's gonna dispel vulnerable on himself. Oh my god. You sick fuck. He's gonna undo all of my hard work. Get undone. Ah, sentry! God damn it. Evelyn, what did I say about sentries? Sentry. Sapping. Nice, he's dead. Lot of transmission onto Andrin, who's gonna now one-shot this one bird. Sorry, Master Crane. It's your time to die. Goodbye, Master Crane. Imagine if animals sounded like people, IRL. And when you pet like a dog or something, it goes like, ugh. So what the fuck? Honey, did you hear that shit? Ugh. What the fuck? Yo, front monster chain impale, of course. Stone Skin is a weird card to have on defensive. Ranged attacks don't really help, unfortunately. Go for shards. But Firestorm repeats once? For all monsters? Yo. And this guy gets nothing. There's nothing really good from him. There will be something good later. Infuse is good later, but not now. That's one thing that I don't like about this game, is that you have to metagame a bit to be as efficient as possible in your runs. However, that's kind of the point of roguelike, so I can kind of get a pass on it. On the side of the road, you meet a heron with a group of fennecs. Isn't that like an herb? When you approach, the heron says to you, "Well, aren't they adorable? These little fellows are the best companion anyone could ever want. I've trained them myself. I'm a little sad to part with them, but as a fennec enthusiast, I want you to see how powerful they are. I can sell you a freshly tamed one for 400 gold if you want. But if you want one that's well trained, it'll cost you 800 gold. Do I want to buy a fennec? I can't even afford it, so no. I can ignore him and walk away. I can try to buy one, but I don't have... Fenny? Wait, purple Fenny casts ankle bites, which for the front monster deals damage. So pets are this last final slot of equipment. They stay with you until the final fight, basically, until the second half of the final fight. Then they all die. It's actually very important. They get replaced by a tombstone that says recipes or something, okay? But until then, they provide you a lot of bonuses that help you all the way to the end of the fight. And each and every single one does its own specific special action. So in this case, Fenny just bites people. Kind of like a chihuahua. You get serious and threaten him to give you a fennec for free. You get serious and threaten him to give you a trained fennec for free. I don't have the money. And if you get the pet, what happens is you get to unlock it for the rest of the for your future games too, to buy from the shop. The problem is that my threat didn't work, and so he calls all his friends to be on guard, and I leave before things get serious, because chihuahuas are terrifying. Cliff Trail. It's funny to me that chihuahuas, holy shit, with explorer, heretic, pagan? Pagan gods. Down with your pagan gods. I'll cut them where they stand. But yeah, it's funny that chihuahuas are so like aggressive. They're very small creatures, but they seem to act far above their own weights. And it's like, you would think that a defense mechanism would be to not make too much noise, almost. Like, a lot of animals are really good at being quiet, right? Except for chihuahuas or like something. They're very good at causing trouble with like larger dogs. I've never seen like a happy poodle, like a chihuahua. They're always like terrifying. Fun fact, my wife, she has a dog named Pepsi. No, she had a dog named Pepsi. When I went over to her house when we were like younger, her dog scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh my god, it's gonna kill me. And she's like, no, calm down, honey, calm down. Well, at the time, she didn't call me Mia honey, but she, she was calling me by my name. But I can't tell you my name because that's just doxing myself. So, but it was very funny. In hindsight, it was very funny that I was afraid because her dog just wanted to like play with me. And I was like, oh yeah, I would love to play with you now. But back then, I was like, oh my god, it's gonna kill me. I'm gonna die. So it was fine. This guy almost demolished me, by the way. Dreadful Wave applies darkness. This is the first time that we're really seeing darks. Oh my god, and Deviant Zealotry. What's that? Okay, this is the new element, Zeal. All resistance is plus 7% per charge. Healing with Z from Sanctifier 20% per charge. Damage done plus 1% per burn charge. Remove all charges at the end of a turn. Holy shit, that's a crazy new buff. That's not in the base game, as are these enemies, of course. But that's an interesting buff to deal with. I'm curious how this sort of changes. It makes a lot of different things better. Like it's good to be burned, and it's good to be sanctified as well, because you heal a lot more from just dealing damage. The problem is I don't know if I'm gonna survive this. Now darkness is interesting, okay? Upon reaching 25 charges, suffer 10 shadow damage, then remove all charges. This actually that's incorrect. 10 shadow damage per charge, I think. It's like a seriously high number. So it's like if you have like X amount of charges, you like blast them per charge, and then it does like a huge burst. And then you lose all your charges. It's basically an execution mechanic. If they stack it up enough, I'm basically doomed because I don't have a way to get rid of it. So I might be doomed. Maybe I should get the Holy Ripple. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so now I hunt just like this guy, because this guy seems to be the healer and seems to be also a darkness. The front two are not darkness, so I don't really care. But the back two, yes, those back two are really gonna hurt me. This dog is just so safe. Oh my god. Oh, it's the Fennec that I would have had. That's the pet, but the pet is the monster. I need to shield her, actually. She's going to die. Have some wolf guard. Here, have fun. Here, have this too. Have a I can colorize myself. Well then. Might as well. Oh my god, transform darkness into powerful? Holy cow, transform darkness into powerful. That was insanely close. I would have died there instantly. I'm fairly sure. We need to heal her. Unfortunate, because I don't really have much healing. You remember when I said I don't need healing? I always do this every time I play healer characters, and I always die for it. It seems to be a running theme in my playthroughs. Do this. Shocked over and fire sword. Get some kills in. Oh, thank God. Look at that damage. So, back guy dies. I don't even know what cards he like has, but the back guy dies. Then we can kill the front guy. Then we kill the other back guy, and then we kill the dog. Just need to be careful who we kill here. There's a specific order that we need to do it in, and I can't do anything else but this anymore. So might as well do this and use as much power as possible. That sucks. Oh, barricade, yes. Keep her alive. If she dies, it's gonna be a very sad day. Mainly because when you die, you get a new injury card. And but you do heal up to 50% for the next fight, so it is a decent trade-off. Just again, why die when live? I said this a lot on this channel. Why die when live? And then also, why live when die, right? So it works both ways. I don't even know what they're resistant to. They're weak to slashing, and this guy's to lightning, but also to cold. But this guy is really strong to cold. Actually, elemental kind of sucks here. So maybe fire for burn onto myself to burn more. Big burns. Oh no, you're on fire. And keep yourself alive. Just in case he does elemental. Oh god, you see the darkness stacking? Too much and will die. But at least he hurt himself by using profane. So profane is good because you purge 2 auras, okay? So 2 buffs or debuffs by the oldest ones, okay? So you get rid of things that would like harm you, basically. I think it's the ones that like harm you. No, maybe aura refers to like the things that would help you. I can't really tell. I don't remember is what I'm trying to say. Blood for the blood gods. Easy clap. Oh. Sorry, that was a weird noise. Holy cow, sorry. Now he's going to die anyways, so we might as well just do this. And then give this. Now look. This guy's gonna go do crazy healing. Nuts. I really shouldn't have gotten rid of healing cards. It's bad. What is this? Redemption. Transform darkness into healing and shield? Sorry, into regen? Holy shit. And an X is what? X is based on number of dark, I bet you. And we can upgrade it to be reusable. To always transform into regen. This is really, that's an insane card. Compared to this, I mean sanctification though. Double target, holy sanctify. Sanctify again. You heal 1 health per stack of sanctifier on them, okay? All stats effects can stack permanently unless it states otherwise in some game rules or even on the effect itself. Imagine healing on 900 health every single day. Insane. Insane. We could do another Shock Nova. I mean, she has too many cards as is, and her deck is really good compared to everything else. I don't know what else I would really get, except for maybe remove 1 heat wave for 1 invisibility. Could be nice. This could keep us safe, actually. It wouldn't be too bad. Old of War is nice for him here. It is a singing spell, song spell, but I mean, it's still a good buff, at least. Then Butchering. Random monster. Oh my god. Oh, Invigorating Blow. Meat? Or meat? Meat. Meated. Ladder. Charles, the magic collector. You meet a werewolf resting near a ladder. When you get close, he says, "Hello, travelers." Potion seller. Magic seller. I need your strongest magic. My name is Charles. Wait, Charles Barkley? My friend Binks. And I founded the werewolf village far from here after serving in the wolf wars. Wait a minute. Oh, long time no see. Oh, okay. Now the village is well established and I travel in search of gems or magic items to improve the magical defenses of our village. You want to buy anything that might be useful to me that you don't need. I don't want to sell anything. Oh, long time no see. How have you been, Charles? Good to see you, Magnus. You look great. You know what? After we last saw each other, Binks and I founded the village. I hope someday you can stop by to see it. I have things to do, but before you leave, let me tend to your wounds. Oh, thanks, man. How do you unlock them? I can't unlock them because I'm missing something important. I'm missing something that I need to unlock them. Where's the wolf village? Where's your wolf village? It's not even here. Heck it. Stone door or heron head? Stone door, stone door. Stone door is weird. Let me take a sip of my coffee here. 99% milk, 1% coffee. As you make your way through the gorge, you come across. You come across. What? You come upon a spectacular stone door carved into the wall. Upon entering, a large hidden blade swings down from the ceiling and almost reaches you. Look down the long, dark corridor leading to the inner chambers, and at the end of it, you can see a small towel protruding from the wall. Plus you, like it might be a switch to stop the blade trap. Entering seems too dangerous and the switch is quite far away. We don't want to take the risk and leave. Try to run to the other side quickly, avoiding the blades. But everyone has their own roll chance. Or, I will shoot an arrow to activate the switch. 0% chance because he has no range attack cards. Just make a break for it. Everyone for themselves. We got rocked. Oh my god, we got rocked. You run as fast as you can to reach the other side unharmed. Then as you look back, all your friends have been hit by by a hidden blade, and now they have open wounds. Yo! What the fuck? Wait, look at this. This is a whole different map. Yo, down. Graveyard. Oh no. Hall. Oh no, Bone Warriors. Boners. Bone Warriors, Archers, and Mages. Do this first in case I get a good card. I didn't get anything, so it's fine. Bone Mage, I think, is really the guy we want to deal with. I should have Shadow Stepped, but my bad. Now, Enrage. Chain. Bleed. Bleed. Die. Okay, they can't bleed. Wait, that one can't bleed. What? Hang on. Not all bones are made equally. This guy's bones can bleed. This guy's bones can't. Oh my god. Random, by the way. Random, by the way. This isn't good. They all got demolished. They're really weak against Holy, which is nice. The problem is that she moves before Reginald, so she doesn't really get to heal or anything. She could go for a Shock Nova here, but I think Fiery Weapons would even help them. Would help that even more. Do this. Do the lance. Do a Shock Nova. Then hide. Pocket Sand. Yeah, that was an awful time. Everybody took a lot of damage there. A lot of damage. Holy Ripper. Get some Sanctify, get some bonus thing, and heal myself. That's not too bad. Everyone's insulated. Oh no. Oh, here we go. Old of War comes in handy here. Wait, why can't I use it? I'm so stupid. It requires Stanza 1. The only way to get Stanza is with certain cards. I forgot that some cards have requirements. So Stanza is like a progressive buff. So it's like you get Stanza 1, next turn is 2, next turn is 3, and some characters can modify that to lock it or to keep it. But if you're a character that doesn't have access to it naturally, you need to get a card that gives you access to it. Which again, it's just all RNG at that point. And guess who failed the RNG roll? Me. Beautiful. I don't know why I did that. She has a Mono Gem. Oh no, I should have used this first. Oh. I'm panicking. I'm panicking, and because I'm panicking, I'm failing. This ain't good. Not good at all. Okay, we could do 1 damage. Might as well. Then unstable power. Ward. Heat wave. It's heating up in here. Oh, it's really heating up. Holy cannoli ravioli. Wait, I can double sanctify right now. But no monster has enough stacks anyway, so we might as well do this. The Holy Hand. The Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. If you've never seen Monty Python and the Knights of the Round Table or something? Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That shit is hilarious. I don't know why it was so funny. I saw it as like a teenager, but like way after it released. I'm not that old. Oh god. Why did I pick Ode to War? I should have looked at the requirements. I'm a fool. Whatever. Rend. Whatever. What a disaster. What a disaster moment. Oh my god. Good thing I barricaded. She's dead. She dies. Evelyn has been crushed. If your team survives, you'll resurrect with 70% of your total life. Remember that nothing comes without a price. You will carry the stigma for the rest of your life.
Well.
Imagine saying I don't need healing. Imagine saying that healing is you don't need healing, you just need damage. Crazy thought. Perish the thought. He dies though. Bleeds. I don't know why the bones bleed, but if the bones can break, the bones can blade. They can't bleed, so might as well just do this and then hide.
Sneaky.
Prepare yourselves! Now, I need to sanctify the last guy for him to heal. Maybe the second guy, actually. He'll have access to the second guy before he has access to the third guy. I think. No one's burning here, so might as well use this healing ring. And another healing ring, why not? Kill him. Nice. Oh dear god. Now poison acts at the end of turn. So everyone's dead here, basically. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. Unless I can maybe get some shielding up. I mean, even the shielding wouldn't really help. He's just doomed, I think. Instead, with your dying breath, Wolfguard. Keep him alive. Stop petting me. I have a reputation. I didn't even pet you, dog. You moved into my cursor. Magnus has been crushed. Good. Okay. I thought. Imagine if it random him. Although it should have, considering that he has more health. But it's fine. He has evasion. I need to do this for him to heal. No, I can do this. Something safer. Then I can do this, so I can get rid of evasion. Nice. What? Where'd you come from? What the fuck are you? Scourge Blast. Escapes. What? You're kidding me. What? Huh? It's like that meme. Something does something, doesn't elaborate, leaves. Why? He cucked me. Absolutely cucked me. I'm dead. I'm dead. The scarab absolutely demolished me. Oh my god, he's in stealth. No. Wait. I could maybe kill this thing actually. In one turn. Try it. If it chains, it bleeds. No, it doesn't work. What a disaster. I don't know where this thing came from, but it just did damage. Alright, fine. Thanks. Okay. Thanks for hurting him. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you hurting my entire team for no reason. Very nice. Alright. Well, that's not good. Oh my god, we're still alive. Alright. Alright. We can do this. Shining Force. Can you please stop hiding? Heal. See that? Sanctify heal is nuts. Oh my god. What a turn. What a turn. What a turn. What a healing turn. What a healing turn. He's back online, baby. One shot. One opportunity. I can just flash him, actually. He's going to take all the damage at the beginning of the turn, so I can heal myself now. And then I can heal myself and flash him to heal even more. Oh! Performance bonus poor. We get absolutely demolished by a single beetle. Sanctify still busted. Sanctify still busted. Welcome Floral TT. One of the many people that we have played with who also saw the power of Sanctify. Still busted. Still busted. I got the DLC to check it out. We're actually currently in a DLC zone. Not too bad so far, but I'm going to tell you right now, the DLC is it's more expensive than the base game for a quarter of the content. So we're trying to see if it's worth it early on. I bought 2 different games at 2 drastically different price points. This is worth it. What's Graveyard? Like, why does it say Graveyard with like a dark thing on it? What? Graveyard. What does this mean? Hello? Now we could go up here, which I think has a heal. I mean, they both have a heal. But this takes me to a crypt. Oh, but there's a different way into the crypt. If you go all into the desert plains, into the tomb. Oh, there's different entrances. There's a character event here. There's another character here. God damn it. I could have unlocked someone new. Oh, so there's different characters depending on which way you come in. Okay, I could have unlocked someone, but I messed up. That's fine. Okay, so we can go for words. I want to check out the balance. Tiled floor. The builder's name. Use your large chamber tiles on the floor. On each tile is engraved a different letter. You carefully step on one of the tiles and suddenly a poison arrow comes out of a hole in the wall and crosses the entire chamber. You dodge the arrow by sheer luck. You notice that on the side of the room there's a small tab that seems to refer to the builder of the chamber, but the name does not appear. You suspect that the path's unharmed, you have to step on the tiles that correspond to the builder's name. You try to get to the other side while dodging the poison arrows. This is awful. Let me guess the correct tiles based on their where. Or let me guess the correct tiles. Why did... Evelyn? Okay, Reginald is that person who tries to take credit for like a good idea, right? Evelyn's like, okay. Evelyn's like, let me guess the correct tiles based on the where, okay? Then Reginald's like, wait, I got an idea. Let me guess the correct tiles based on the where. But he has no experience. Skill move. She's poisoned. Fail. You go first and manage to step on the right tiles. Unfortunately, when you get almost to the end, you make a mistake and an arrow hits you, poisoning you. The rest of you follows your steps and learns from your mistake, reaching the other side safely. Oh boy. Oh, graveyard. You start in darkness? What? What do you mean? That's actually kind of nuts, actually. So these two get too many high cost rates. We're currently on a wild hunt. I want to do a blade fairy. I want to do this. Who are you, Reaper, Harbinger? Oh! Get demolished, Jesus Christ. Howl for me, boy. Ow! Defend myself. Intercept him and repair his armor. There we go. Oh boy, here we go. What? Oh! He has lifesteal. Holy shit, this guy's nuts. Damage by others gain, oh my god, and gain 2 mitigates, which reduces damage by a flat amount, which is crazy. A flat amount is basically a percentile amount. And heal yourself for 2 times the damage done. He basically healed everything back. Dog, she pulled both of her injuries. Oh god. Killed the guy in the back. Oh, maybe killed the guy in the front, actually. Everyone should focus the same guy, because this is going to be like bad. Good. Healing ring. Water. Yes. Delicious water. Wow. Wow. He's dead. The shield doesn't come in yet. Oh! What was that move? Curse bandages. Scourge. Damage received from Dark Explosion. Jesus Christ, the song is way too intense. Damage from Dark Explosion is what? Increased by 30%? No, by 10% per charge. Spread 50% of dark charges of this target to this target's sides, except for 1 shot damage per chill charge at the start of the turn, then remove all charges. This damage cannot be blocked and is not affected by other modifiers. Holy hell, this thing is disgustingly strong. This is the hardest map yet. I'm kind of doomed here, actually. I don't really have any good options for fighting back here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm torn. Oh my god. It's over. It's over. There was no way around it. Me relying on Sanctify killed me. Sanctify is no longer broken. Do I want to retry the combat? No. Iron Man run? Iron Man run. We die. We always Iron Man on this channel. We never replay on this channel. Now, this is the other part of the game that's really cool. The perk points. Since I'm playing on a new account, I lost all my perk points and everything. It's still there on my main account, but on the second account for like streaming, it's like not here. The perk points are cool. So if you go to adventure mode, so with new cool characters, you can now choose your party. I mean, there's not that much choice considering we haven't unlocked anyone, but we could get them. So these are the new characters at the bottom from DLC, and these are the main characters. So a DLC that costs as much as the main game plus $1, even though it's one new area, it's just one new area, only adds 2 new characters and 2 new status effects, but it's more expensive than the main game. There's something to question about that. You also get a bunch of these perks here, okay? So you get to increase the stats of the characters that you like to play over and over up to a certain amount. I think up to level 50, I think. So 50 perk points, and you get to basically build your character how you want, and this applies for your entire run. And some of these are pretty consequential. it's not just, you know, the basic RPG stuff of like 5% stronger, 1% stronger. You actually sometimes unlock whole new mechanics. Like, look, now crack, which normally increases blunt damage, will also reduce block charges gained by 0.5 per charge. Or you can apply more. Or it applies one vulnerable per 14 charges. It changes how you play the game almost. Fortify, for instance, which lasts until the end of the turn, keeps your block until the end of the next turn, and you remove one charge at the end of every turn. You can now set gain it immediately. It can't be purged. It can now stack and increase your blunt and fire damage, so it becomes a bit of an offensive option. And it can also be removed immediately, but also grants 10 block per removed charge. Things like this, I think, make the game very, very good. So far, what I've seen of the DLC content, I'm not very impressed for the cost. I'm very surprised at the cost, actually, because of how expensive it was to buy the DLC. Again, DLC is $26.99 in the Canadian terms. And the base game is $25.99, not including sales, okay? I don't know what they're smoking. And I don't know if it's a publisher decision, which I think it probably is, because it happened after they joined Paradox Interactive. I'm assuming they have to make some level of return. But the Paradox Interactive way of charging for expensive DLCs for, you know, fractions of the content. Again, mind you, they did it in Crusader Kings, okay? Doesn't really make sense. It's very hard to make that kind of sell to anybody. A little tiny addition that is a fraction of the entire cost of the thing. People will always look at the number of the content and the quality of the content compared to what you could have gotten by just not spending. And for 16 characters worth of content, a bunch of cards, a bunch of mechanics, and then paying that price again for just 2 more characters and 2 more new stat choices, and a couple of new enemies and like new like maps, it's hard to make the decision that that's really worth it, okay? We're gonna try maybe one more run. I still have a bit more time before I have to go. Oh, before I want to go. We're gonna go through this. We're gonna quickly assign this a perk point here. We're gonna go more defensive this time because boy oh boy was that bad. That was a really bad. We're also gonna try to go for a bit more initial money as well. Initial money is like nice because you get a bunch of it's basically a stat multiplier in terms of like what you can buy, which is nice. I still want to try the melee build. So I think the melee build is really good for shredding down the front people, who I think are very, very strong in this game in general. Although the back monsters are also very, very strong. Like basically every monster in this game is strong, but if you're running a melee character with a hunter, your melee character is basically not going to do anything, so you might as well focus on like melee, I think. It might be more worth it. I'm going to try to focus on lightning damage as well, or maybe... she just gets more health actually, because she dies pretty quick. More defensive options is like nice. Again, more money, and of course the healer goes for the holy and sanctify. That's all we need, and shards. You go right in, back into it. And we actually now know the story. We actually know what happens now. Now it all makes sense why we start here. Finish game rewards. So you can claim rewards from your previous run. There's different modes that don't let you do this. You can stack it up to 3 times to make your next run easier. Since this is the last run for today, we're just gonna pick it up because why not? This gives us a major stunning boost. So for instance, there's a ball of wool. Apply 1 slow to a random monster at the start of your turn. That seems weird, huh? I've never seen that before actually, huh? Also, we're gonna try to get healing. I don't think we should try to get Sanctify only. Sanctify is really good, but it takes so long to get to the point where it's useful that you die by the time you get there. I do think Powerful is nice, but he also has upgraded Ranger armor. So maybe we still with this for now. Okay. We can also get to upgrade a lot of cards early on, and we can craft some cards early on. There's a couple of really good ones that I really want to get here, if I can find them. Deflect is always nice. Cards that draw for free are kind of crazy to me. Especially because early on, there's no modifier. There's one mod... when you reshuffle your deck, if you have if you don't have enough cards in your deck, what happens is you can keep reshuffling Deflect to get infinite, like, defense, right? You only really do it at the early parts of the game before you complete more runs and before you do, like, harder parts of the runs. Because the way the later modifiers work is... every time you reshuffle, the cost of the cards go up by, like, 1. But early on, it's a decent choice. Blade Flurry is good. We need to get some more melee cards from. A lot more melee cards. We should get Puncture if we can, but I don't think I get access to Puncture yet because I'm still too early on. I kind of wish I had most of my power from before, but it is interesting to try to start the game sort of fresh and anew and see how far you can get. It's a very interesting way of playing because you're much more constrained. You don't have like all the broken cards immediately. You're mostly just like playing on the back foot. I do like this guy playing it as more damage. I won't lie, but it's hard to deal more damage in general. Although if we focus on Sanctify and focus on hitting front enemies, it is doable. So if we Blade Storm actually and Chain, these two are good. Why not? Get this as well, and this. And you, Reggie. Reggie has a bunch of cards that he can get. A bunch of really good cards actually. He needs mostly Sanctify cards, okay? Blessing cards are out, Sanctification is in. Blessing is out, Sanctification is in. We're all about Sanctification here, okay? Everybody gets Sanctified. You get Sanctified. You get Sanctified. You get Sanctified. We all get Sanctified. You might wonder why I'm buying Barrier, because you can upgrade to be free after. Which I need to do now before I forget, because I always forget and I never have enough shards. I never have enough shards. Oh yeah. Then we can get... Okay, I should have removed cards first actually. Foresight. Flash. Most of my cards are being removed. All that's left are mostly the Sanctification cards. Which is really good. We could go for... I have no more Sanctification cards actually. Okay, you also get to remove your shots here. I hate the shots. They feel very weak for the cost. At least Rupture applies a bleed, but the shots don't apply any like effects at all base, which really sucks. Slice, I actually like the mark compared to everything else. I think it's worth it more. It gives more value to things, I think. This guy, Fast Strike, is useless, I feel like. Now, again, if there's no effect and it costs something, it's not really worth it. At least even Defend is like kind of worth it. Two drastically different skills at two drastically different price points. We're gonna see which one's worth it. You could go Firestorm early on, actually. That's not too bad of a choice because Firestorm I do think is a very good card overall. I do want a Charge Battery, but I can't afford it. So maybe an Ignite. Yeah, an Ignite. Let's blast them. Frostbolts are useless. IMO costs too much. Does too little. It's not worth it. We have a bunch of gold now to buy items, of which we're gonna buy nothing. I don't think. You could get some opponents' resistances now in the Reinforced Armor, but most of these items don't upgrade to anything really good. The only upgrade that's like really good is like this, but even then, it's not every turn. It's only at the start, and you remove 2 charges at the end of every turn. So in 3 turns, it's all gone anyways. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, so we've gone up, and I had to do the Yager thing, which I forget is like up here. So we have to go up again to do the Yager event. We might as well go kill the Imp boss again. Because killing the bosses gives a lot of really good like cards early on. It's a good damage multiplier. Oh! Yo. That's good. That's really good. Oh, Enrage. Intimidate. Imagine scaring like a piece of corn. It's like, ah! Crazy. This coin doesn't have anything on me. You're coiny, son. Holy shit, she's charged. I love that move because it gives you so much energy. And every future run, every single one, it's so good compared to everything else. Okay, here we go. Now, this is what Reggie can do. Look at this. Holy Ripple! Holy Nova! Dog, that was sick. Oh. And now, all we do is we'll slice, detect, and we rupture. We couldn't get a 1 turn, unfortunately. Getting a 1 turn is hard without burst damage. And even then, it's only really possible early on. The later you go, the harder it is to get like 1-shots. I do like a Rupture, but do I have too many cards? Like, if I get Rupture, what do I get rid of, right? I would probably get rid of Slice, actually. That might be good. But not every monster can bleed, so every monster can be marked, it seems like, but bleeding is not really guaranteed. So I don't even know if I want to. I could, however, replace the Hunter's Mark, which is not too bad, actually. But I could also just upgrade it to remove it and get vulnerable, too, so... Expert Tracker, though, does have to go at some point. So... That. Fireball is decent, but I don't know if Fireball or Fire Blast, yeah. And then Flash Heal, oh my god. It's purple, so sometimes you get like a corrupted version, which is the purple version. These always have special effects, but they always vanish after, always. So you lose it for the rest of combat, but it's almost always worth it. Just grab it. We should probably might as well go for this character, and we might as well go up and do the Yaga too. But I really want to prioritize Yaga mainly. We just go head on. Straight into the Imp. We blast him. He got the Wolf Slayer buff somehow. He actually just buffed himself. I love how Magnus just held. Magnus, lore-wise, holds the sword, buffs himself, and says, "You're welcome, guys." Amazing. Oh, disgustingly good. Holy hell. Last one. But you can see the fun of this game. There's a lot of different builds that you can go. And that's just these characters, right? These 4 characters. The base game, again, I don't think the DLC is necessarily worth it, but I can now host games for my friends with the DLC on. But the base game, there's 16 characters, and all of them have very distinct playstyles. It's very interesting to see. And all of them have very distinct sort of like ways that you can combo certain moves, and you can build them in like any which way. And every run is different because you never really know what you're going to get. You have some level of ability to control it, but for the most part, you're gonna be doing something new every single time. It's a very good game. If only the DLC pricing was a lot more fair, then maybe it would be a lot better. I just don't know. Again, I'm assuming it's a Paradox Interactive thing. I'm assuming, which is very unfortunate because I think Paradox Interactive could have maybe not done that and maybe not screwed them over for the most part. Because it feels like they kind of got boned. They have no real choice in how to fix it, and because of the public perception of it, they've had to sort of force themselves to go the worst direction, right? I imagine that high price was probably worse for them overall, because now it's like, you know, only one person has to buy it versus getting 4 people to buy it at like a lower price, right? So at some point, some of their analytics must work out to being like, this is the best way, but I still can't believe it. Almost, it just doesn't seem to make sense. So I'm very disappointed in like seeing what like happened. But, oh well, you live and you let live, right? It's just, you know, if that's how they want to do it, then at least the market will decide of like, hey, you know, should they get a lot of sales or not? Again, I don't think it. I don't think it should. I don't think the DLC is particularly worth it. I don't think it's necessarily the best thing to expect people to like pay a lot of money for not too much more than what the base game is. And again, you're paying a lot of money. Like, you're paying a shit ton. Oh yes, Obelisk Corruption. So, because we died last time, we unlocked the Obelisk Corruptions, okay? Now that we're on the second run, this is where the main mechanics come in. You can accept an optional challenge in combat. These pop up randomly, and these give you a bonus. You can do something new. So, for instance, since I have a lot of gold, I can get access to an equipment shop. Removing cards doesn't matter because no one has a lot of cards, but it gets a lot harder. So every round, every single monster prevents a 5 debuff system every single round. So if everyone moves, that's a new round. They get max HP plus 15 and all damage plus 2. The Obelisk influence is corrupting the monsters in this area. You choose to fight them under the effects of corruption to increase the difficulty and gain additional rewards. Absolutely worth it for the exotic equipment shop. Exotic is probably I think the rarest. No, probably the second rarest, but still really good. If you get something really good, it'll basically change your entire playthrough. So let's hope that we get something good, because we do have $2,000. We're rich. Absolutely balls to the walls rich. So we could double bleed him here. But we could crack him too. Oh, crack the corn. Corn on the cob. Yeah, here we go. Oh my god, he has healed. Burn. Die. Bleed. Kill them all. And then whatever that. Good. He's dead. The farmer does do like a heal a bit, but I don't think he can do it twice, so I'm not too worried about him. I'd rather mostly focus on damage, and I can get rid of these healing cards now. Oh my god. Stupid healing cards. Gather. Nice. Now this is a nice turn. Look, Mark, bleed. Again, I don't know how corn bleeds. To be honest with you. Oh, but it ate everything because of the bonus. I forgot. Oh, I'm so stupid. I should have done that. Well, GG. Time to reroll. There are so many times when I'm playing with my friends, because like we always play in the highest difficulty, right? So we metagame the shit out of the other game. And I forget that like on the lower difficulty you don't have to, and you'll still end up mostly even or like ahead. But on the lower difficulty, if you don't metagame, you're in for like a world of hurt. You have to metagame hard sometimes. We'll like re-roll if even one move doesn't go like well. We're perhaps a bit too hardcore about it, but it's fun for us, so we don't really mind. And most importantly, it's fun for everybody. None of us mind the rerolls, especially because we play for 2 seconds and then someone has to let go. So it doesn't really matter. Into something, I guess, Bladestorm. If only Bladestorm applied bleed, which I could upgrade it with. Oh, here we go. Yo. Oh, what a combo. That's when you pat your mage on the back and then go, where was that before? This is a small weapon. So remember, do you remember how this trait said melee attack card? The classification matters a lot on the bottom. If it's a small weapon, even if it looks like a melee weapon, he's basically stabbing someone or throwing his like knife or something. It doesn't count as a melee. Living flame. Sacred bolt. Wait, sacred bolt sucks. This is vile lance. Wait. Vile lance is decent, actually. That's actually we get 1 cost, 6 poison. That's nuts. Oh. Wait. Look at this. Look at all these gems. This is a taunt item. That icon means taunt at the beginning of the fight. Sure, you take more damage, but I mean, you were gonna die anyways, right? But twin blades for Anjin, if we're going melee, yes. Scroll of Resurrection is a good backup in case we die, but I don't think we'll. For every sanctified charge you apply 1 bleed. Dear God. Like literally, dear God. Literally. Dear God, dog. Holy shit. Fucking monstrous. Okay, do I take the chance? 50% now. Everyone suffer your own fates. Well, that sucked. That's not good. Again, same old deal. I read this last time. Let's try to intimidate because that's funny. No. Just discharge them. Just fight them. Who cares? I'm not going to risk it for the biscuit. We have too many injuries at the very start. I don't know if we'll make it to the desert if we can even get someone. Again, the whole goal is to try to get one of the new characters. And we now know that the top character we can't get yet. So we need to go to the bottom path now. And that should be able to get us to the other character. We can also go to the very, very top and get that person inside the thing, but I don't think that person in the cave does anything. I do want to go for the bottom path to see what happens. Maybe we can get her. Maybe. Oh, I should have shielded myself because I'm currently taunted. Oops. Oh god. We can do some. Ooh. We can do a lot. Like a lot. Look. Yoga flame. Wait, they're immune to fire mostly. I'm wasting my time. Beria. See, I've learned from last game that now I should probably stick with some healing cards, some level of healing cards. Ah! Oh my god, he pulled a card and broke his like leg. He reached into his pocket and immediately broke his like leg. Holy shit. That's actually nuts. It's a bit, you know what? It's very similar to being old. It's like going like you know what I mean? It's like walking downstairs and you like trip a little and all of a sudden your entire leg's like gone. Same kind of deal. It's a very painful existence. My existence is life and suffering, is pain and suffering. You're a fool. You should have ended me while you still had the chance. Die. Never mind. Got anything? Yo. Punch him. Oh! Decent. Good performance. Very good. Not too bad. Cleave! Sorry, I don't know what. Dual strike. Wait. Melee attack. Does both? Wait, how does this work? I bet you this is crazy. My in-head lore is that he stabs someone and then he's like he holds his like bow and he shoots an arrow at like point blank range. That seems awful. Ignites. Yes. No bless. Bless sucks. It doesn't suck, but I can't use it. Reginald will get the Dispel Magic card for free. Wait, that's actually not too bad. Dispel 4, that's actually nuts. Or we can just heal more. So these are good to do anyways because even if it's harder, if you get like a heal for instance, it's basically free. And because it's harder, you get more crates at the end. Because your score gives you more experience and stuff. So like crates or the more money and stuff you get to carry over to the next run, which you know is good. Oh, get demolished. Ow. Oh right, he's a taunting. I keep forgetting that he is taunting. I'm always like, how do they always hit me? But no, it's because I'm like taunting. We could do impale, chain, and we could do this. Just smash him and then shield him. Okay, well you can't taunt on a global move, a firestorm. Do that, ignite him. Oh my god, he's gonna burn for a lot actually. There we go. Now while it seems troll to do ignition for like a target that's like against fire, the thing is that if you burn them enough, their resistances go to like nothing, right? So eventually, they'll die. Eventually. Even if it takes you like 5 turns, they'll eventually die. It is kind of worth it. Good. Why is that good? Sure. I don't know why that was highlighted. What? Die. Die. Nice. Worth. So now intimidates. Intimidates. Then save. No point to moving if I can just save for next turn. Oh my god. You really done it, huh? You really did do it, huh? Nuts. I can't even do anything. He's mostly a healer. God damn it. I hate healing. Imagine playing a healer and you hate healing. That's mostly me. In WoW, my class was a Shadow Priest because I hated healing. I just wanted the illusion of healing so that I could get into like parties. It was kind of a 5-hit move. Ooh. Can I get an hour? Nice. This is going much better than last time. We have a lot more cards because of shards, right? We sharted. We sharted to victory. Sharted. Any sharters in a chat? Any sharters? Yeah. Shining Force. Oh. Nice. Holy Nova. This must be the new DLC card for the DLC character who is like a mage or like a healer plus a melee. Holy Slash. This is a new hybrid card. Yo. None of these. You upgraded Fire Sword. Ray of Hope. No. Carefully inspect. 4 or lower. Well, oh, thank you. Good. Very, very close. Let Magnus drink it, because he needs to survive. If he dies, we're doomed. Oh my god, that's really good. The Morning Star isn't bad at all. But it's only crushing damage, which is kind of hard to get. Wait, I upgrade my silver ring now. Yo. Then we can get some... No, leather armor replaces that. I mean, we could get point... No, but shuffling into your deck causes your deck to balloon. So it's not really worth it. We could instead go for a surprise box, right? Just 50-50. Why not? Why shouldn't I? And get some more resistances, and then you get paid. You get money. Have fun. I'm new in town. I don't think this will work. Huh. Oh god. Oh god. Everyone has shame. Oh god, he broke his bones. Everything's dying. Everything's breaking. Holy shit. Dog. Remember, focus on the front. Demolish them ASAP. Because why not? Intimidate. Holy slash. Then pommel defend. I'm trying to think of how much damage to go for, but the Sanctify healing doesn't really work yet, so not really gonna help me much yet. Oh yeah, here we go. Now this is good. Look, now we can boom transmission and then boom and then burn for nothing because it doesn't do anything. Then boom and then anything and then okay, we're just dead anyways. We can do some divine grace, I think. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, here we go. Then we do this, and we do holy ripple. Bounce. Okay, it didn't bounce back, but it's still dead. That's fine. Now we have to hit the front deck. No other option. Detect, slice, blade for. Look, he's dead. Okay, he's not dead. He's way too tame. Holy cow. But he's almost dead. Magnus can finish him. They call Magnus the finisher. He finishes people off. Huh? Magnus? Magnus? Oh my god. I didn't even see the like imp. I thought the imp was like a background thing. I was like, oh cool, there's like a thing here now. But no, it's just a new mob all of a sudden has been spawned in because they are summoned. Reggie, what's the guy's name from Nintendo? I swear to God, his name is Reggie, right? My body is ready, Reggie, right? What's his name? I need to look it up because I keep thinking of like him when I see these like names. Oh yeah, get poisoned. Oh, Captain's Hook. Oh, dude, wait, I have 7 points. Holy shit, dog. Yo, dude, that's not fair, dude. Yo. Okay, now we can maybe do some Firestorm. Oh, that's so good. Look at that damage. Let's do some Fireball. I think Charge Battery is better to keep energy up. Because they're insulated too. It's not really much damage. It was mostly to get... How? Here we go. Okay, we can do some flash heals. That's pretty good. Then we could just Shining Force one. No. You're a healer. Reginald, you're a healer. Don't go crazy. Here we go. Okay, here we go. If I can kill this like thing in front of me, it should be good. Wow, you're useless, dude. He really doesn't ever do enough damage. So Magnus, he's a genius. Andrin is making Magnus waste his turn so that he looks worse compared to the rest of the team. What a narcissist. Absolutely crazy that his damage is never enough. Nuts. Andrin the Narcissist. The N in his name stands for Narcissist. How many imps do you have? I keep killing imps, dude! Okay, I can only hit the front. I can never hit it from the back. Can you please stop summoning imps, please? Okay, we can do Vile Lance here. We can then do healing. Focus on healing. If I don't focus on healing, I'm gonna die slowly. If I don't heal, I die. Remember, we could do something like this. Ooh, this is good. Boom. A boom. A boom. Now, Magnus, it's your turn to shine, dude. The Narcissist is... Why did you decide to pick all your defense cards now? Dog. Yo, Elemental. We could do an Elemental Ward on someone, but she's going to die anyways. I don't think she'll survive. I've miscalculated everything, and I regret everything that I've done. Might as well do it on him because he takes the most damage. Oh yes, it is easy. All he does is sanctify. Great sanctification. We could go for no. To me, intercept is bad. It is a low shield. Like it's good, but it's also too low to be good. I don't think any of these are good. Geyser is bad. Heat wave is bad too. I have too many heals. Might as well. Sacred ball is bad too. Lord of the Imps, we can help you. You know what? Let's just kill him. Let's just kill him. Heck it. Let's just kill him. End him. I'll show you a boss fight. A real boss fight. The monster, Belfior. I'm going to lose actually. Ooh. Ooh. And get slowed. And then we do pommel. Boom. Intercept. Boom. And then he has to defend because, oh my god, I forgot he's taunted with minus 15 resistances. There we go. Okay, now we get, oh my god, a mono jump. Immediate mono jump is nuts. Now, this fight, pay very close attention. This is a different imp. Volatile imp versus fire imp. This guy blows up, okay? He chunks me. He absolutely demolishes me. He's basically a giant bomb. He will eventually blow up and then absolutely demolish me. So you do need to be careful about what to do here, okay? I think maybe you give this to him, Andrew. There we go. There we go. If I can kill this little bomber guy, we're good. If he blows up, the AoE damage is insane. Of course, don't sleep on Belfior. He has a huge AoE move, okay? If we get demolished here, we're doomed. One bad combo, and we just instantly die. Get rid of all the fire moves because it's useless. Kill the simp. Oh my god. As fast as we can. And boy, is that fast. I'm fast as fuck, boy. Magnus. What can you do? You can do nothing. Just, intercept. No. Defend. Godspeed. If you 07, it's not my fault. Oh, that's the move. Well, there's two variations of that. That one move is like the Fire Nova. The second one increases everyone's fire stacks. So it's even worse. It gets way harder. You can end up with like 50 burn in just a couple of turns if you're not careful. Get slow. Holy shit, he's so slow. But still, Reginald is even slower. This dude doesn't hit the gym a day in his life. Dog. Remember guys, exercise. No matter what you do, exercise. It's good for you. It'll keep you healthy and strong. It'll make your dick look larger too. In relation to everything else about you. Think about that. Think about that statement for a second. Don't you want that? I do. Uh-oh! Defective summon. Nice. He messed up his summon. So sometimes he can mess up his summon and he loses more. And he also gets like weaker as well. It's not a common occurrence, and I think the chance goes away completely on the higher difficulty. But it's nice when it does. It's nice when it does happen. Oh god. Okay, maybe we can slice him down. We could hunt this work here. Double slice. Oh, this is good. This is really good. Magnus. Wait, no, he goes first. I should have slowed him. Oh no, I should have slowed him with a puncture. No. We can only attack the front. We can only hit it from the front. I can't hit it from the back. Oh, you're a fool. Get out of here. Die. Oh, nice. Reggie, Reggie's, it's why do you use Reggie? You have no damage skills. And if Evelyn doesn't pull a single good damage skill, we're doomed. We're doomed. Okay, well, you know how the music stopped? Because Evelyn didn't pull any good like her. She basically ruined us. Oh, she's dead. Die. You fall today, Belfior. Wait, what? Oh, yes, Holy Slash. Why not? Get 1+1 healing. It's worth. Here we go. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I didn't pause the recording. Sorry, VOD viewers. Just, sometimes I'm a bit like Mitch McConnell. I just kind of like freeze on like stage. I'm like, huh? Like, huh? What? Who said that? Yeah, same deal basically. Innovator's nuts. You get 1 energize and 3 regen. Why not? Energize is nice because you get more energy. Oh my god. Now you know what I'm going for. Wolfguard was good. It's better than anything else. I mean, in Wild Hunt, is bad compared to maneuver. Elemental, no, enchant weapons. And this, divine retribution. Great. Cool. Collect all the shards. They follow the magic shards and find a hidden chest near the summoning circle. When the great demon's horns remain in the fight, you take that as a trophy and a proof of your deed. You open the chest and rest for a while. Now, unlocking characters is hard. You never really know what the condition to unlock a character is, okay? There's always a different condition every single time. And boy, oh boy, is it tough to figure out, okay? There's no shame in looking it up in a wiki. You're just a little bitch. Sorry, that was just funny. But yeah, it's you have to look up in a wiki for some of them. Not all of them are very clear. You can talk to the characters and they'll usually give you a hint on what to do, but unless you know the entire map in and out, it's very hard to keep track of everything. There's a lot of information in this game that it throws at you, and to remember every detail to figure out how to unlock someone is a very complicated task. For instance, this horn, I won't spoil it for you, but it is important for a lot of things, not just character unlocking, but for a lot of things. And you need to really think about and listen to what people say in order to know how and when to use it correctly. It's very fascinating. I spoiled the entire thing for you, basically. So, fuck you. Oops. My bad. Wait, Searing Blast. Yo, I could get a pipe or I could get the dagger. I think that the dagger is worth it better. He needs a pipe though, right? He could get a pipe. He could start piping right now, dude. Perry Piper. Okay, now we move on. Get out to the circle. We leave the basement. You walk through the basement full of dead cultists and exit. Same path as always. We need to unlock Yager at least. Yo. I don't even care how hard this is. For Magnus, this is nuts. Vitality gives you plus 5 HP per stack. You can get a lot of Vitality, and it gives 1 Energize for next turn. It basically costs 1 for your entire combat, which is nice. If you average things out, you know what I mean? Yeah, average. Law of averages. Oh, he draws 3. Here we go. Well, that was a useless draw. Might as well just break my legs, I guess. I pull a card, I break my leg. Now, he's going to be taking the most damage here. But I think it's fine to go for raw damage or overall. Because it doesn't really matter what we do. 9 block is not going to change much. But dealing what? Like 20 damage basically with a blade? That's pretty good. Maybe, well, 7. But, you know what I mean? It's close. 7 is closer to 20 than it is to minus 20. Same deal. I'll stop talking now. My mathematics is off.
Mathematical.
Holy moly. Okay, now we can get some healing on. It's good. We can get some barrier. I think what we should do is Holy Ripple. Do some damage and get some Sanctifier. For later. And they'll take a lot of damage here if I can get the kills off. The problem is really getting the kills off. No Wolf Sword. Holy Slash is good. I try to do as much damage as I can to kill this thing as I can, and I can't. That's fine. Captain's Howl. Howl again. Leave. Double heal. Holy Slap. Slash. Sorry. Holy Slap is also good too. Can you imagine a Holy Slap? God empowers your hand for 1 God hand slap. You slap the fuck out of someone, and it leaves an imprint of Jesus' face on their hand on their face. That'd be nuts. So nothing good here that I know of. There's a new one here though. I've never seen this. This must have come from the DLC as well. Revealing Flask. Deal 2 mental damage and apply 12 foresight and 10 insanity. Insanity is nice because it reduces their damage done too, up to 50%. Basically, which is kind of nuts if you think about it. They do half damage. Put 3 icicle into your hand, cause 0 and vanish. It'll down. No. Ooh, that was good. Okay, Soldier Trainer. Again, take cover is good for him, as always. Oh, sorry, I'm so gassy. My god. I can't believe I did that to all of you. But boy, oh boy, did that feel good. Usually I mute it, but, you know. Now, story time. In the forest, you found a large open space that seems like the perfect place to rest before continuing your journey. As you go to set up camp, you notice a group of werewolves camping. They see you and offer to share the camp. One of them also says to you,
Hey, you want to share some stories from your travels
with us?
while we rest?
You want to share their camp and tell them a story? We can say we don't want to waste time with some strangers, you know. Understandable. I hate strangers. We can also say and vaguely tell them we want to reach the Obelisk. We can also tell them a story about the Wolf Wars. I hope they don't recognize me. By the way, 29% chance, and this has always failed me. I've never succeeded this. We also tell them how I defeated the greater demon Belfior. We speak about it with the demon, with the greater demon Belfior, showing his horn as evidence. They're really impressed with you and tell you their own story. They discover that the Dryas have a large stash in Dash Forest Deep Stash. We keep all the items of the dead adventurers who got lost in the forest. You rest for a while before continuing. Now, Forest Deeps is all the way down here, but we had to go to Yager. That was the worst choice. South Fan Gates. We can get a free card upgrade. What was the challenge? Aw, shit. Here we go again. Oh shit, I should have used this first. Fudge. It's fine, whatever. Oh, nice. At least he's taunting for us, right? So we can't possibly die. Everyone's gonna hit him first. It's gonna hurt for him, but it doesn't matter for us. We could do Blade Storm, but I think no, Blade Storm's worth it more. Although Imperial plus this could double bleed basically, for a lot of damage overall compared to like triple attack over time too. As bleed, the way these things work is it does the damage equal to stacks, then it lowers the stacks by 1. So if you have 10 stacks, in total it does 10 plus 9 plus 8 plus 7, so on and so forth damage. Decent amount, very decent amount. Dude, imagine the dog saying it. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. We can then do, sorry, I'm still replying to messages. We can then do this like chain. And then we do end churn, and we absolutely get demolished because I think he gets healed. Yep, okay, that was awful. Here we go. Look at this. He doesn't do enough damage. Wow. His damage is so weak, holy shit. At least we do enough to kill him here. Oh! Invigorating blow. Look at this shit. Bam. Then, look. Bam. Then, look. Get scared, motherfucker. Look me in the eye as I'm talking to you. Look me in the eye. Say my name. Say my name. We do fire damage. Increase her damage to fire. Because she does elemental damage anyway. She's basically doomed, right? Might as well do with this. Then they get burned. A lot. Holy cow. Oh, look at this. Holy rain. Holy smite. Holy barrier. Holy nova. Well, he purged the shit out of me. That was the craziest counter I've ever seen in my life. That was a nuts counter. He hard countered me. Holy cow. Okay, now we do this. I wonder if I can even get to the second area safely. I don't know if I can. The more that I really think about it, right? Getting to the sands is one thing, but trying to get the unlock condition seems like really hard, if not impossible. He can gain 1 zeal. Heal receives and sanctified plus 20% per charge, yo. Saw blade, small weapon, nope. Dark Future, what's this? This is a new card too, I think. No, this is old. Holy Ripple. Nice. So we now get to upgrade 1 card. Can I upgrade my low self-esteem to just esteem? In general, you want to use this upgrade on the most expensive card you have. So say, for instance, see, you can see the cost that it would be if it wasn't free, right? So old cost for everything else is like 420, whatever. But Mana Gem itself is like a shit ton, 1260. Making it free and upgrading to be reusable is totally worth it. Or even Blade Fury, look at this. Wow. Look, wow, and now it can apply bleed. Look at that, huge. Now how about Reggie? What can Reggie do? I could upgrade my Shining Force to something. I think by discarded might be a lot better. The damage that it deals is nuts, but why not apply Vulnerable? That's actually worth more, I think. I should have done for more Ripple charges. Now Blade Storm I think needs to be upgraded to do bleed. I don't really care if it hits just the front guy. It really doesn't matter. Because we're mostly focusing like the entire team on hitting the front ones down. I know him. Okay, again, we can reason with him. We have time to attack. Same deal. I'm not going to read it again. I only read things once. My Thrusty is tired. I just want you to know that. We slice him. We poison him. He's gonna slowly die. We walk away. And we're good to go. Oh yes. Eat that fresh. Everybody something get down like us. I think that's the song. Oh, dude, we chopped him alive. He's already half health. Oh, he healed again. Heal me, you bastard. Oh god. Okay, so can I do anything good here? Nothing. Okay, maybe I feel like 9 of them. Do a bit more damage. That's a lot of damage actually. Give the elemental ward to Andrin as well. We can innovate Andrin for a bit more energy next turn. I can then barrier, heal. Good. Then Andrin can do some crazy work here, I think. Is he nuts or is he nuts? He's actually kind of useless. You see, nice. Actually, that's pretty good. A 3-hit combo is like decent. A lot of energy used too, so it's like no overcapping. Because again, even energy management in this game, even if you get like 1,000,000 energy, it doesn't really help you if you don't have enough cards, or if you hit the cap too consistently. Okay, again, you have to manage your like spend and your gain. It's a very interesting way of like how this game does things. I think it's a very complex game if you think about the resource management angle alone. This game has a lot of really cool complexities. It's why I'm so sad that the DLC is priced the way it is. Again, I really think they need to go back to the drawing board for the entire thing, and maybe speak with their publishers or something, but at least some like insight into like why it's so heavy compared to other games, yes, and compared to what people would expect. Or maybe again, I think video game Donkey made this point. I say his full name, but I think everyone knows who he is. Donkey made this point of how, we value games by a very different scale, even though a lot of games would probably be, entire works of art worth millions. Each frame in and of itself, right? But even then, so it's like you can possibly make the argument that, hey, it's not necessarily overpriced, it is actually the perfect price. But, I mean, is that really true when it costs even more than the base game? Even relatively, it's not true. So, no matter what, I think they're gonna have a hard time getting people to understand the value of this DLC if they're pricing it for co-op runs. And I think they're doing that simply because they might have statistics that co-op players are their biggest base, right? But how often is that playtime, right? I mean, even now, I'm playing the solo stuff with my friends. And I have friends. Compared to, playing with friends. Even though it's a situational thing, and not everybody's going to be streaming alone, there's still the matter of, like, how often can you play co-op consistently, right? There's a whole bunch of angles to it. I really hope that they sort of figure it out. But in general, I don't think a DLC should cost as much as the full game. Even if it is a fairly good DLC, I actually think the additions, or at least compared to the last DLC, a hell of a lot better. A hell of a lot better. The last DLC I thought was very weak in terms of how much you actually got out of it. Again, it was like one single character. It was a map, like 2 other like custom event maps that told the past history, and so it didn't matter which characters you like brought into it. Strange choices all around. But we'll have to see. Again, this is their major DLC release since getting the publisher, which is a money infusion, basically a management change. Okay, your manager is now the company who is running you, the publisher, right? What happens now, right? Is now that they've had this backlash, and now that they've seen that the player base for this game is not the same as like every other Paradox interactive game, will it change, or was it not even a choice from Paradox Interactive? Was it a choice by the devs of this game? We'll have to see. Holy Nova! Holy shit, just like the video. Yager is no more, find the camp, yep, same old. Now we get the good stuff. Now we could get a howl. Fishing rod. Fishing rod's nuts, because you can give it to anybody, gives them 1 vitality and 1 draw. Okay, we could get a reinforced thing here, which I think is good. Our sword is automatically upgraded. I think because we killed Yager. I'm pretty sure that's why. Or maybe it's random. I don't know. But we could get this armor and get even stronger. But if we're gonna get this armor, we might as well go for Wolfskin Cloak. Now you. The problem is that I really want to remove this and get more damage with a bleed. But if I can get something good here, this might be good for 2 times, and then again I can combo a lot with my melee attacks. Because again, if I reach level 3, if I even can, if I play a melee attack, it costs energy, it refunds me 1, and I can draw when I use it with this. A lot of good choices. A lot of good choices. However, maybe fishing is the best choice at some point. The box is really good for me, so maybe I just take nothing actually. Now, you might as well fish. And you can get this. I really feel bad for... Like, Reginald, listen, it's hard to find things for tanks to do. Now, let's get Yogurt, the forest. This fourth voice behind the camp, and near a tree you find an old diary. With a quick glance, you realize that it is Yogur's diary. The diary talks about when Yogurt was young and everything that happened to him to him in the wolf voice. Do you want to read the diary? I think this unlocks Yogurt, but you also need to own the. This is the first DLC of the game, and you can see why. I'm gonna show you why it was very heavily panned. Let's read it. The war is about to begin. It's time for me to choose a side. The world side is divided. There are many who prefer to annex the kingdom and will fight for it. Although I pretty much agree with old Chieftain Goriel, I think I can get more of it by joining the kingdom and seeing what happens. Several years after marrying the king of Senentia, Queen Amelia initiated a campaign to strengthen ties, welcome all the different races of the kingdom under one banner. Most of the races, always harassed under by werewolves, accepted the proposal with hope. However, Chieftain Goriel wanted to continue ruling the northeastern parts of the forest and claimed the right to hunt freely for his werewolves. After months of talks between Queen Amelia and Chieftain Goriel, the latter broke off the negotiations. Goriel declared that his werewolves would not be tamed, and anyone who would enter the forest would be his prey. Moved by the plea of all the races of the kingdom, hoping to protect them, Queen Amelia decided to launch an offensive to overthrow Goriel. All my heroes are gone. Well, except for Magnus, but this is like old This is young Magnus. Young Binks, young Charles, a whole bunch of really cool sort of scenario cards for you to play with in this sort of thing, and Yager, who we can soon unlock as a real character. But you can see why this DLC was panned. It has no connection to the main game. It's this one scenario, it's a one-shot scenario, basically, and you're done. There's nothing else to it. This was half the price of the base game. And all you got was the one character, a couple of cards, and basically this, okay? Half the price of the full game, which the full game has everything else. 16 characters, a million cards, a bunch of really cool effects, everything base. Usually DLCs are much cheaper because the initial cost of development is now down. You have the engine, you can mostly just add content to it now. And usually content additions are cheaper depending on what you add, obviously. But if there's not too many new sort of like groundbreaking changes, then for the most part you have ways of hooking into the existing system anyways. But still, despite all that, half the price of the main game, and now the latest DLC, same price as the base game. I'm very curious to see how this goes. The new captain. The warriors who decide to fight for the kingdom gathered at the watchtower near the forest. Their command of the human army decided to form a special advance platoon composed entirely of werewolves. Since we knew the terrain, it would be easier for us to advance to the forest. At the forming of the platoon, he told us that he needed a captain, someone trustworthy and capable of leading us. Anyone volunteer to be captain? It could be a Magnus. It'll be an honor to serve the kingdom and these comrades. Or it'll be Yager. These rascals need someone tough like me. I'll do it. Yager. I like your enthusiasm, but I don't think calling your captains comrades rascals is the type of captain we are looking for. You over there, you're Magnus, right? You served with us for a while. You'll be the captain. Thank you very much for your trust. I will do my best to deserve it. Interesting. So now you get a skin for him. Okay, that's cool. There's a field hospital down here, but there's also a main camp. We don't really need to heal. Again, none of this really matters. We're mostly trying to go through and let's see all the events that we can right down the middle. Go down to the forest and go one shot down, straight down the middle. Oh my god, Savage and like Frost Fangs and like wolves. So I can so this is Magnus. Young Magnus. But you can see why it's kind of like, oh man, like all of my choices up until now didn't really matter. It's cool that you get to play with a new character. For half the price of the campaign, it felt very, very overpriced. Although it is fun to play as like wolves, I won't lie. Sky shot, target sides, holy shit. Worth. Blast them. The main meat of this DLC, again, is the fact that you get a new character in Yager. I'm very curious to see how he plays. I've only seen gameplay footage of him because I was waiting for like a sale on the first DLC, which never happened. So this is my first time actually trying him out, and hopefully this should unlock him. I think if it doesn't, then we're kind of I got jebaited. Holy shit! Sorry, that was nuts. That card is insane. Jesus Christ. Magnus. Man, old Magnus sucks. Compared to like new Magnus with his actual like skills, it sucks. Oh, nice. Taking aim, we can buff ourselves. Concussive shot takes 3 though, but we don't have any. We just do a double shot here. Bam. Bam. Almost died. Nuts. Yager goes. And now Yager can do Blood Rage. Lose 18 HP, suffer 5 bleed, but it's fine. We now do a cleave into... Wait, maybe double Rampage actually. Oh, worth. Actually worth. Holy cow. Watch this. Watch this shit. You're about to see the greatest blessing of all time. Oh, meditate. Holy cow. Again, I wish they just gave you all of these characters too. Like, why not the entire wolf gang, right? Why not, like, you know, multiple wolves? For the price of the DLC compared to the game. Again, if it wasn't a relative price, I don't think people would have cared as much. But because you can see the relative price of the game content to the base game, that made people go like, okay, this is way too much for what you get. It's all about relativity. The law of relativity. If it's gonna cost more than your base game, it better be damn good. You can't pull what Diablo 2 did back then. You know? You can't just release like the expansion at like the same price and hope that it'll work. I actually don't even think it was the same price. Although maybe it was, because my brother bought it on like sale for like cheap, the first game. But you can't pull that stuff anymore. It's a very different landscape, and I think consumers are much more price sensitive. And I think if you release things that, depending on the time too, and the landscape of the economy, you can really run into issues long term with getting people to stick with your game too. It's unfortunate too, because I think that if they did release it cheaper, both DLCs, they might have garnered a lot more like goodwill, and people would have like recommended it more, right? And recommendations matter a lot, I think. In today's time, like day and age, most people buying things are gonna look for reviews and recommendations in order to weed out what's good and what's bad, because there's a deluge of things to play. And mind you, the DLC came out roughly around the time when Baldur's Gate 3 came out, when, you know, Starfield came out. Like, this year is stacked. Tears of the Kingdom, it's stacked. People usually don't have this much spending money like I do, for instance, okay? I'm not saying that to, like, flex or anything. I'm saying that because, like, you've just seen me buy a million new, like, games. That's not the norm. Most people can only spend money on a handful of things. Are they going to spend money on your thing or on something else, right? Price accordingly. It's unfortunate, but it's somewhat deserved for what they've really done. We reach the interior of the forest. In front of us stands the ancient obelisk of Senentia. As we approach on one side of the obelisk, we see a group of dryads. Sorry, not triads. That only happens in Asia, which, you know, apparently happens a lot in certain places. Especially back in my home country. As we approach on one side of the obelisk, we see that seems to be protecting a large and old treant. Fortunately, the treant is fast asleep, and the dryads do not seem to have any intention of attacking us unless we approach it. Our men await orders on how to proceed. Chop, chop, trying to cut some wood, guys. No, there's new soldiers of the kingdom like duties to avoid conflict. With a small detour, that's an order. You were assigned as captain. I already thought you were a coward. We will make a detour, but I guarantee to you that in the future you will regret not having cut down that treant now that we've had the chance. That treant was Ilmir. Excavation. We arrive at an archaeological excavation behind the ancient obelisk. It seems something has happened. Everyone in this place is nervous. The wizard in ostentatious robes comes and says, "Handcheck! Oh my god, it's Lord Handcheck." Wait, you were just in time. We've just been robbed of something very important. The stolen object is an ancient gem. After months of digging, when I finally got it. So the gem is the thing that's holding the monster that's actually controlling the final boss. Just so you know, the thieves were human and headed east of the forest. It is vital that you recover it for me. I, Lord Handcheck, command you to retrieve the gem at any cost. Of course, but with a good reward, we would be more motivated. How insolent. Unlike Queen Amelia, I would expect nothing less from werewolves. I am Lord Handcheck, court magician and advisor to the king. You don't want to be executed for treason. You'd better hurry up and retrieve the stolen gem. Also, be sure to deliver it only to me and no one else. Yes, sir. I regret my comrade's comment. On my honor, we will see to it that the gem is recovered immediately. Magnus, It's the reason why everything was set into motion. I hate Magnus. Why did you do this? Why, Magnus? Why? He's the reason why everything went to shit later. You know what sucks? This DLC actually provides a good, like, really good backstory. And again, price sensitivity is a major issue. Major issue. I hope one day that everything's fixed, and I hope maybe that the developers maybe think about their strategy on what to, like, you know, like how much do they price things, because it's not working out for them. And I hope so, because I hope they do think about it, because this game is really good. It just needs smarter pricing. Display, there we go. First aid, nice. I love how Yager just holds this piece of meat. Like, he's still the same as back then. He is just Yager. Through and through, he's just Yager. Just Yager. Crash Lightning, this guy. Oh, I should have zapped him, actually, too. Like, zap and Crash Lightning instead of innovating Yager. I should have just innovated once, zap and Crash Lightning. We can do Incept. One Incept. Do, oh wait, first aid, nice. And some fast strikes. We can do, oh! Yo. We can do this. Nice. He has a Hound. Wait, cast card Howl. Hound Master. He has his own pet. Huh. I'm curious how this goes now. Oh my god, I smashed him. I should have smashed him, actually. Slowed him down for Yager to go first. That was a bad move. However, the first guy's dead anyway, so it's not too bad. We do a cleave. Then this. Nice. I should have intercepted. I don't know why I didn't do that. Oops. We do Sacred Ceremony. Another one. Zap. We do Dispel Magic. I think. No. This is for us. Dispel him. Heal lowest. Well, everybody. Wait. Nice. We can then smash this guy down a lot, actually. Can't stop the bleeding, but I mean, he can still just demolish him there. Like a rocket. Holy cow. Rampage is nuts as a card. It's actually a crazy good card. Thieves Camp. Following the forest in an easterly direction, we arrive at a small camp. There we find a group of thieves who have stolen the gem from Lord Handcheck. One of them, the youngest, sees us and approaches us saying, "Wolves, I don't know what you want from us, but this is our camp and we are not willing to abandon it. Say what you have come for and leave." Do not make me laugh. I'll take what I want from your dead body. Yager, control yourself. Missions is to recover the stolen gem and deliver to Lord Handcheck. As soldiers of the kingdom, we must avoid killing them and bring them to justice. I didn't think they'd send someone so soon, especially with the war going on. It seems that the gem is very important to that grumpy wizard. I'm not gonna give it back. Well, you're gonna die for it then. Die. Wait, Andrin! What the fuck is Andrin? This gem belongs in a museum! Oh my god. I bet they play League of Legends. Disgusting. Andrin. You fool. So Andrin's backstory is he used to be like a ranger, just doing crazy things. Then he became good to follow in Reginald's footsteps, to be like, you know, like a goody two-shoes guy. It's interesting to see them actually playing into the story here. I like the storytelling. It's actually really good storytelling. But again, the price is a bit too much, I think. Way too much. Cleave? No. Rampage. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. Prescription, yes. Heavenly Blessing for 7. That seems nuts. You know what? I'm saving. We save for greener days. Lord Handcheck is not to be trusted. At least Andrew knew before. Magnus was a fool. Andrew knew. Here we go. Enrage. I think we're okay. I'm pretty sure we're okay. We're not gonna die necessarily, but it is gonna hurt a lot, and it's getting harder too. You may notice that we're not really growing in power because you don't get to draw anything. You're locked into power, so it's like it's really about how much stuff you can get. Wild Hunt. How come his Wild Hunt in the past is way better? Damage would hit last 10 uses. Dog. Your version now sucks. Hello? No! Actually, I use discard cards last so that you don't throw things away for free for no reason. Okay, we do Innovates. Crash Lightning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Save that now. Save for 7 because I want to use a 7 cost card. If I pulled it, I want to... Even back then, during the Wolf Wars, Magnus was garbage. Even back then, Magnus was pure ass. Dude. Literal ass. Dog. Magnus, why are you so bad? Oh my god. Oh my god, Magnus. Why? Oh wait, they're both dead. Well, you know that 7 cost card that I wanted to use? There's no point. I couldn't. There's actually no point though. Well. Stolen gem. During the combat, we wound several of the thieves and the rest managed to flee. The youngest of them, slightly wounded, takes a gem out of the pocket, and while he gives it to us, says, I am Andrin of the Cossack family. Take the gems, that's what you want. But I warn you, Lord Handshake is not to be trusted, and he's up to no good, as we'll find out in the future, right now. In the present, basically. Hand over the gem and prepare to be executed for you. For your crimes. Not so fast, Yager. Now we abide by the rules of the kingdom. It is true that we don't have time to bring them back to justice. We have the gem we came for, and I will personally return to Lord Handshake. So Andrin, you are free to go. I met your brother in the tavern near the city. He's a good man, and I would not like to give him a hard time. I hope this was just an unfortunate misunderstanding. You're too soft, Captain. Lord Handshake would want these thieves executed. When time comes, I'll make sure to report to him what you've done. Yo, an Andrin skin. Look, he looks sick. He actually looks sick. Wait, rest here. The war continues. We finally arrived near Goriel's camp. The platoon has had disagreements with how we have acted in the various events that brought us to this point in the war. The tension is palpable, and now is the perfect time to rest for a while before we fight with Chieftain Goriel. As we rest, we wonder what everyone's opinion of Goriel is. Goriel is too stubborn, joining the kingdom was the best option for werewolves. It is clear that werewolves are superior to others, in that sense Goriel is right. We werewolves should be free and not have to ask permission to hunt in the forest. Humans want to turn us into the tame dogs. Well, they won't tame me. I think Goriel has made a big mistake in declaring open war on humans. And the war is near and it will not end until Goriel is overthrown. It seems to be clear that Goriel is our enemy, taking it down is the only option to end this war. Well, sometimes I wonder if you didn't join the wrong side of what your real motives are. Which we now know is to be his own bandit, right? The Chieftain Goriel. We make our way through the camp until we reach a large tent. There we are greeted by Goriel, who welcomes us saying, I've heard of you. The werewolf platoon that kills their own kind on the battlefield. Humans will tell you that you're brave, but in reality, you're a disgrace to werewolves. And you, Yager, seeing you on the side of humans especially pains me. I had high hopes for you. Now I must execute you to set an example. You still surrender peacefully. I'm sure Queen Amelia would be merciful. You led the werewolves well, and I respect you for that, but now you must die. This is a really good backstory. Like, really, really good. It's just marred by the fact that the cost is so high compared to the rest of the game. So you say you respect me. Don't make me laugh. So what's the first Yager doing inside of the humans if you agree with me? Or is it that perhaps you were looking for a chance to take my place and you were afraid to face me in the duel? Me? Afraid of you? Don't be ridiculous. You've made a big mistake by provoking humans. Someone like you should have seen coming that we couldn't win in an open warfare. I would have done better. What's more, when I'm done with you, maybe I will. Fascinating. I like the backstory. You get a real sense of, like, you know, the politics of this game, of this world. Oh my god, he's a monster though. His resistance is very high for lightning, so using his attack spells is useless. My Charles mage. Again, I kind of wish Binks and Charles could be characters too, but they aren't. It doesn't seem like. It's just a weird, you know, design decision not to include them. I feel like. Might as well kill these small dogs fast. I should just use this thing. Astral Wolf. Traitors, the true whales will prevail. All resistance to this cast card, Astral Wolf. Oh my god. What's that? Astral Howl. All heroes. We take damage and we get vulnerable. Oh shit. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's really bad. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh, that's really bad. Nice dispel. Good. We meditate here. We get healing totem. We get innovate for him. We can then do dispel magic on him. No points in crash lightning. I guess for the small ones, it's fine. There's no need to heal yet too. Ow. Another dog? What the fuck? Dude, he has so many dogs. Oh shit. What do I do? Do this. Do this. Do this. Cut him down. Dog, eat dog. Dog meat. Wait, isn't that the name of the dog from Fallout? Dog meat. It is, right? Oh god, he's gonna get 16 shield next turn too, which is huge. We could do piercing howl, but I think we just do like a rampage here for bonus damage as much as we can. Then we can maybe kind of break him down with this guy, unless he has a crazy prescription. Desperate prayer. Grant 2 vitality, of course. I need a prayer. I need a hero. Okay, his shield's up. Magnus could break the shield. No, he has to shield though. He has to shield us, so we don't die. If he casts a wolf again, then we're doomed. Because look at that damage. Cross rune, shields, all heroes. His lightning damage is nuts. Holy shit, this guy's a monster. He's the chieftain for a reason. This guy's a machine, an actual machine. Nice bullet shots. I really wish I had Binks. He's actually a pretty cool, cool character design. A lot of power, actually. Good, gets a thing. Now we do this. A desperate prayer. Save me! And only me. Nice, he gets to go again. Holy cow, he gets to go again. What? A double innovate play? With a zap? Yo. This is gonna be nuts. Like, actually nuts. Intercept, lead him. Don't even first aid. We may be able to one-shot him at some point. Yeah, look at this damage. Slow him. Concussive. Do even this. Raw damage. Raw. Yo. Intercept myself and Butcher. Here we go. He's gonna die soon. 2 more turns and he's guaranteed dead. I just don't know what happens after we kill him, so I don't want to risk going too low, right? Because you never really know how bad it's going to get. At least my like gun dog is gonna heal a lot of health, at least from pure regen power, actually. And then do taking aim, I can blast him. Holy cow! Oh god. Okay, Yaga, can you do anything? I sure hope so. You get a lot of energy. Good. Rampage. Nice. The betrayal. After a tough battle, we defeated the chieftain Goriel. Magnus began to speak in celebration of victory and was about to ask the rest of the werewolves to surrender. I, Yaga, couldn't allow him to continue talking. To claw his face to shut him up. That's why he was scarred. Magnus was left wounded on the ground, and to finish him off, just at the moment the human army began to arrive. This was my moment. If I made sure to finish Magnus off, I wouldn't be able to escape. So before running away, I shouted to the remaining werewolves. Those of you who want to remain free, follow me. Fleeing quickly was a good decision. In the moment, the human army occupied Goriel's camp, and as we fled, I could see Magnus being tended to. Most of Goriel's men followed me. We headed into the depths of the northeast forest, to where we are today, and we got Yaga, yo! Baller. The end of the war. With the werewolf chieftain defeated and his followers fleeing in disarray, the war ended shortly thereafter. The humans decided to call this conflict the Wolf Wars. As Queen Amelia had promised, the humans gave shelter to all werewolves who wanted to join the kingdom. Rumors had reached Yaga that Magnus had been rewarded with nothing more than a Medal of Appreciation. Soon after, Magnus decided to leave the human army. Yaga's diary ends with recounting the following months on the run, and nothing, and little else. So Yaga in the end was correct. All he got was a commendation medal. And Andrin knew it too, somehow, Andrin knew. We're gonna kill this boss. So this will be the final battle. It's getting way too late, and I have to go, okay? But you can see how the DLCs kind of stack up, yes? That's the entire second DLC. You get one character, a bit of story, and it doesn't affect anything on your main run. There's nothing else. And the crazy part is, that's half the price of the main game. The current DLC that we're playing, The Sands of Omenin, which we've only been to once so far, because it takes a while to get there, is as expensive as the main game itself. Imagine that. I really hope they rethink their strategy on how much money that they're pouring into, like, these things, yes? And how much they price these things. Price sensitivity and customer reception leading to follow-up customer reception, especially if your only selling platform is on Steam, is so important for the lifetime of your game that if you don't do it well, you're basically doing the worst thing for yourself. Hands down. And again, it sucks, because I really like this game. One of my favorite games to play, because I think it has a lot of potential. I just hope that they really rethink their strategy, although I doubt it because I don't know if they even can. If they can. Or if it's their publisher, Paradox Interactive, who's known for these, like, very expensive games. Very expensive DLCs that basically total up to even more than the main game itself. It's a very unfortunate. Only time will tell, and I hope that time tells a better tale than it does now. At least by the store pages. The store pages are looking pretty bad. Pretty bad. The current reviews, recent ones, I think they number in like the dozens, are mixed. So take that as you will. That's pretty bad compared to what it was before. Nice. Okay, now we can really focus on the boss. I'm pretty sure we just blasted her. Ice cold. Look. Because of this is nuts. Because of my fire on me, by the way, what happens is this: I can ignite, certain glass, and look, boom. Every hit applies fire because I'm currently a fire elemental weapon. So my icicles apply burn for free, 3 of them. What a combo. I might as well heal, I think, just to get rid of these stacks. Then we can do whole, like, a blessing on him, and might as well just get rid of the one stack. Good. He didn't have enough what is it? Thorns to deal enough damage with that. Rain of Thorns is based on your thing, so we were safe. Nice. Shred him. Yes. Shred him. Oh, the marking is insane. Now you see that he can purge all of his debuffs eventually, so we do need to keep stacking things up. It's not easy to keep stacking on them. You basically have to do it in your single churn to do as much damage as you can. To try to like get as much power off as you can. It's not impossible, but it is harder than, you know, other enemies in the game so far. A lot harder. But not too hard that it's impossible for us, considering that he's almost dead anyways. Even before he uses Hyper Beam. You can tell it's getting late too, by the way, but by my accent. It's getting stronger and stronger. The more tired I am, the harder it is to keep like a smooth talking pattern, basically. I don't need to use to pay attention to it, but I notice when it does happen. Holy shit! That's revenge for his past self being dead. There you have it. That is, oh my god, colossal blow. Sorry, that was just nuts. Then, oh my god, what the hell is this? Sorry, so, and oh my god! Oh my god, I mean, that's nothing really. Twilight Swamp looks cool, but you can see how good this game is. At the baseline, it is one of the more entertaining styles of games of this genre, if that makes sense. I think this game has a lot of potential to be a very, very good classic in people's eyes. Again, you just need to figure out how to do the pricing stuff a lot better. The pricing stuff, I think, soured a lot of people on what the game could have been. And it's understandable. Again, the pricing is ludicrous at times, I think. So I hope that they rethink everything and that they really take to heart what they've done in terms of pricing, and that they really think about making sure that people's opinions of the game aren't tainted by the high price, and that they can manage expectations, and that they're aware of the price sensitivity of the game, and that they're at least aware of like the insanity of pricing a DLC, a portion of content, a fraction of the main game at the same price as the main game. Because this DLC isn't bad. Neither is the last DLC. And yet if you kept building it up piece by piece, if you kept making it better, if you focused on making it better, if you focused on the price sensitivity and you focused on volume, it actually would have worked out. Again, other games of their other contemporaries have outsold massive numbers. And all it takes is a certain level of quality and a certain level of like homegrown sort of respect for what they do. They had an opportunity to fix it after the first DLC too, but twice in a row sets a bad precedent. And I'm gonna say it, this DLC, what little that we played of it right now doesn't make it worth it, but next time we'll play more and we'll see if it's worth any more. Okay, but that's all for this session of Across the Obelisk. Expect another session soon, because I do want to get through and try to unlock all these new DLC characters, right? But not today. Thanks for watching Across the Obelisk. This is my favorite card game. One of my favorite card games with the worst possible business practices. One of the worst possible business practices I've seen in a long time. And it feels like a misunderstanding of like what their target audience wants into the pricing. And it feels almost deceptive to try to, pay that much for just a fraction of the content. Even though it is new content, and even though it probably was complicated to like make, and it is entirely like, you know, interesting to have. Like Zeal and Scourge are not weak stuff to like add, and the new heroes seem very cool. They're like the hybrid mix of skills, and there's new cards and new enemies. It all seems great. But at that price point, that's a whole new game, man. Anyways, that's it for today's session. Bye bye.